We're live. Hello, everyone. This is Uche and Joku, Sneaker Principal, and I'm here with.
Hello, my name is Wodo Omona.
And this is what?
Two peas on a pod.
Okay, so there's a lot of anxiety going on right now because we had this idea. We're both principals.
Yes.
We've known each other for quite some time now, worked together here in New York City. And you came up with this idea, actually.
Yes.
About us doing a podcast together.
Yes.
And those of you who know me, I've been living in this space for a while now. And the idea was for us to just talk about stuff and where we go through in our jobs. But however, I decided, let's do a twist on this. I'm going to interview you.
Oh, Lord.
And because one of the things I think that people want to know, because this is an assumption of what we do as school leaders, that is very, how do I put it? Like, it's very monolithic. Like, and we all do the same thing. We're just principals. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, no, we are more than that. There's a story.
Yes.
And most of us never grew up, we were never kids saying, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a principal.
Never. Never.
Not even, I want to be a teacher. Especially being Nigerian.
Yeah, no.
Because we're both Nigerians.
Yeah, no.
So, engineer, doctor, lawyer, or your grave. that was what it was.
That's it.
And we ended up, in a foreign land leading schools. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to say we do a pretty good job at it.
Absolutely.
So, are you ready for your interview?
Ready as I'm ever going to be.
Okay. So, Mrs. Obonna.
Yes, sir.
Where did this story start for you?
Oh, goodness.
And when I was talking about education, where were you born? Where are you from? What was your childhood like? All that stuff.
Okay, you're probably going to learn stuff about me that you don't even know.
I'm 100%. 100%.
Even though we've known each other for over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because I met you when Christian was 6 months old, and he will be 12 in June.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're almost at 12
And you
years.
said I was mean.
You were mean. I was excited to have you guys, just real quick, right? I was in the middle school in the Bronx, right? And we were getting a new assistant principal, and the rumors were he was a former soldier, and he was...
Soldier.
and he was Nigerian. And I was like, yes, my people. I got this. It's my people. And the first day I met this man, he looked at me and kept walking. And I was like, really? Really? I was really excited.
I was a traumatized administrator. And this is your interview, but next time we do this, you're going to interview me. I will tell you exactly what happened. You know what happened, but
yes.
Okay, but no. Okay, let's go back.
Yes.
Childhood.
Childhood.
Where were you born?
I was born in Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos.
Yes.
I did not know that.
You see? On March 19th. And do I say the year? No.
Why not?
A lady never says her age.
Okay. But you still make it look good though.
Thank you. I'm in my 40s. And I was born to my parents and we lived in Lagos. I'm the youngest of three.
What are your parents' names?
My father.
In our culture, you say
I apologize.
Dr. Chief, Mr.
No, my parents are very, very simple and humble. So my father is Ojunta Kingsley Ojalala, and my mom is...
Hold up. Your dad's name is what?
Ojunta.
No, full name.
Kingsley.
My father's name too.
Oh, really? Oh, goodness
No, that's
gracious.
crazy. No, my father's name is Kingsley.
That's bananas. See? You never know. Right?
I'm tripping right now. I am tripping right now.
It's all good.
Okay.
And my mom's name is Ngazi, which means blessing.
Blessing.
And I'm the third of 3 children. My brother and Kim lives in Houston, and my sister Adanna lives in London. and then there's me. So we grew up in an apartment in Surulere, and it was like the best time. You know, like my siblings and I shared a room. We had a 3-bedroom apartment, and my parents had a room. Me and my siblings shared a room, and then we had a guest room. And we would always say, why do I have a guest room when we could like split the rooms?
For the guests, you know?
Exactly. So my brother had a bed. So we had 2 beds in the room. My brother had a bed, and my sister and I shared a bed. And I promise you, I think that was like the best time of my life. So much so that I have 3 children, 3 boys, and they all share a room. And I have a 3-bedroom house, and I have a guest room. And my kids share the room. So I grew up in Lagos. I went to school. I went to Sunnyfield. It was a private school. And me and my siblings walked to school. And then after that, I went to this school called Home Science Association School. And it was interesting because they had a boarding school. And my sister went to a very popular boarding school called Batteray. And she was a gangster. She did the entire time there. My brother went to Mayflower and didn't survive. He got really, really sick and came back, ended up going to Atlantic Hall. And then I went to Home Science, and I went to the boarding part for 1 year. And I was like, nah, I can't do it. Maybe that's where my bougie started. Because everyone
what was wrong with boarding? I went to boarding school in Nigeria. I went to Air Force Military School in Jos.
Okay, it just wasn't for me. I wanted to be home in my room, in my bed, doing my thing. So, no.
No, I low-key hated it. I hated it.
So, and I think actually they changed. I think it was like a pilot boarding, and then it wasn't. And so they had like a program where you like took the bus.
Okay, so they tried it. And then
I don't think it worked. Maybe it did. I don't remember, but I just remember only did 1 year.
Okay.
And then after that, so when I turned 15, I moved to the U.S. So, and that was very interesting. My transition to the U.S., a lot of people don't even know because no one really asks. Because also it's like, that was like 30 years ago. You know, my parents made a decision for all of their children to go to the U.S. for a better life, but they chose not to. So we were with family.
All right.
So my parents have always lived in Nigeria, and whenever we moved with family.
Okay, so your parents wanted you guys to have a better life.
Yes.
And sent you.
Yes.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. So, and I think that that's what shaped like who I am, because I was like really independent really early.
Yeah, look, rewind.
I told you.
No, because the thing is usually you pack everybody on go.
Yeah, no.
So what? How old were you?
I was 15.
15. And
yes.
Tell that story.
Okay.
The moment you realized you're being shipped out.
Well, I was the third to be shipped out. So my brother was shipped out.
So you were waiting for your turn.
So I knew it was coming. And we all shipped out around like the same age. So my brother shipped out and he went to Dallas and stayed with my uncle. And then my sister was next and she went to Chicago and lived with my uncle and my aunt. And then I went to, it's funny, this is interesting. I started in Pasadena, California.
Let's start.
Right? And
okay,
then,
what year was that?
2005.
Wait a minute, hold on. So
1995.
I'm like 2005.
Wait, my bad. 1995.
So when
No, 2005.
How
yeah,
did
that's
2005?
right. Because, what do you mean? No? Oh, no, 1995.
I'm like 2005. You'd have been 25.
Math is not my strong suit.
I'm like...
Anything, ELA, literacy, I got you. Math, no.
I'm
1995.
We're talking about like, okay, yeah.
I know,
so
right? No, 1995.
So you mean we were neighbors?
Yes, for a year.
Okay.
For a year.
In the atmosphere, I felt someone was here in California. Okay.
It was meant to be, right?
All right.
But then I was only there for a year. And then I moved to Grand Prairie, Texas, where I stayed with my uncle and my aunt and my cousins.
So what was that like? Listen, Miss California, first of all, you went to California, so You have the image in your mind: the beast, the sun, the weather,
Yes.
palm trees.
Well, I was only there for a year.
Yeah, but a year. That's punishment to leave
Yeah.
California to go to Grand Prairie, Texas.
I loved it in Grand
Okay.
Prairie. I did.
What was the difference, though? I mean, when you got there, you were like, "Oh my God, this is the place for me," or you grew to love it?
Which one?
Grand Prairie,
Grand Prairie.
Texas.
I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I was with family that I loved. I loved the weather because it's very similar to Nigeria. It's warm.
Okay.
And
Humidity.
it's Texas, so you have Southern hospitality. Everyone's nice. They say, "Hey, y'all, how you doing?" Even if they don't know you. So it was easy. And then, like, I went to South Grand Prairie High School, and kids were nice. You know, kids are mean now, but back then, kids were nice. And I had, like, Coke bottle glasses, and, you know, I was, like, I wasn't, like, nerdy, which there's nothing wrong with being nerdy, but I just had, like, my own, like, personal style, and I didn't care.
You were the right one for them. Inside joke. Okay.
Yep. So I went to, it's called SGP, Home of the Warriors, and I went to prom, did all that stuff. I graduated.
Rewind. What did you do in high school? First of all, you didn't.
I was very calm.
Pause. In elementary school, what was your thing?
I was very chill. I was not like
Sports. Books.
Sports. No.
Like, I don't sweat.
I don't. No.
So
no, I was in choir. So I
Okay.
did a lot of choir. I was very like
in
chill.
I mean, so
So in elementary to high, like we went to New Estate Baptist Church. We were part of the Shalom Voices. So we were in, me and my siblings, we were in choir like our whole life. And I didn't do sports. I didn't really do, I was very like just chill. I didn't really do a lot of like activities. I'm louder now and more like into stuff now, but as a kid, I was just very chill. That's what I remember. Ask my siblings or my parents. You may have a totally different story.
Like, who was chill?
But I just remember, like, my brother was into sports. My sister had a lot of friends. I went, you know, I went to parties and stuff.
You were the baby.
Yes.
Okay,
So I was very like protected. I would want to go to a party, and my parents would say no, but then my brother could go. You know, and I'm like,
you're going where? My friend, go and sit down.
Go and sit down and read your book. You know, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm not going. You know, but then like school parties we did, because you're already in the party. So I remember one time I stole my brother's shirt, because back in the day, like the big baggy shirts was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I stole, it was like this brown and black shirt. It was like his favorite shirt, and I asked him if I could borrow it, and he said no, and I took it anyway. I put it in my bag. And then I wore it at the party. I was feeling good because it was like back in the day when you're like, you know, like this.
You're like, hey.
Yeah. So you know, I was just a chill kid. Nothing crazy. I was, you know, you grew up in a Nigerian household. You have to be smart. So I made sure I did my work. I got good grades. I stayed out of trouble. Didn't really get in trouble like that. So you know, it's chill.
So, as a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A lawyer.
And what were you expected to be when you grew up?
So you know what? My parents were actually really good at like no pressure, or if there was pressure, we didn't feel the pressure. But
Something beeped.
something did beep.
Looking around, we're still recording. Volume's still going on. Oh, is that your phone?
No, maybe the mouse, because it's saying that on there.
No, that was okay. Just making sure, guys. We're live streaming, so you know I haven't done any live streaming. I told you like in 2 years.
Listen, this is my
So,
first podcast.
Right now, I know we're recording, and we know we're recording over there. So, and okay, we'll
Good.
see. It'd be funny if we get done recording and nothing recorded. That's happened to me many times. I'm just sitting there
Lord.
I'm like 45 minutes of nothing. But no, I see if this is recording.
Okay. I think we're good.
All right. So, your parents, there was no pressure.
No, I wanted to be a lawyer because if you know me, I like to argue and I don't like back down. So I thought I would be a great lawyer.
She don't back down. No, she don't. She don't.
So I wanted to be a lawyer.
And with a smile too. It was terrifying. She'd be like, okay. my friend. You were like, okay, I give up. So you wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so high school, chill,
Yes.
choir.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? I mean, it sounded like you loved your high school.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the best part of being there? Like, what did you, teachers, what did you get into? What extracurricular activities? What subjects?
ELA. You know, I had in 11th grade or 12th
But
grade.
back then it was called English.
Are you right? I had an English teacher, Miss Hammond. I'll never forget her. And she's probably why I'm an English teacher today.
What was it?
She was a black woman, and she was just like really, really, really like smart. She was pretty. She was kind, you know, and she just like always encouraged me. And I don't know, like it's like I haven't spoken about her, I don't think, in a long time, but like you just asking me that's who came to my mind immediately. And I just remember like loving being in that class, you know?
Share a moment.
I mean, I used to get, I don't think I was ever bullied because I just have a personality, like you're not going to push me. But people used to make fun of my glasses, and I picked them. So, and I used to wear like what they call like Coke bottle glasses. I remember this pair, the optometrist was like, you can even put like it was like a tortoise design all around it. But we're talking about the 90s, so I think I was ahead of my time. And it just made it look even nerdier.
Nerdier, okay.
And so people would make fun of my glasses. And I just feel like whenever I was there, she made everything about like the writing, you know, like the reading, the work. And so there was like no space for that. So I always felt, you know, like really, really good in that class. And I had to go, because we had to share our writing. So you had to go up to the front of the classroom and you had to like read what you wrote. And I was always like, I'll go. And I would go and share, because I knew like no one was going to say anything about my glasses, because there was just no space for it. So that's what I remember. Miss Hammond.
Okay, so what were the things that you didn't like? There had to be someone or something.
I mean, you know, like the high school cliques. I ain't like those chicks.
Let's talk about the cliques.
I ain't like those chicks. You know, like you got like the football girlfriends and the ones that think they're really cute and they're like looking down at you at lunch in the cafeteria. You know, I'm not a fighter. But I used to always think like I could take these girls, you know, but I just, you know, I was chill.
What was the like in my high school?
Mm-hmm.
All the Nigerians in my high school were all related. All related.
What?
All the Nigerians in my high school were all related. It was me, my cousin. It was me, my cousin.
Okay.
I know Ngozi was not related, but she must have been related because her mom and my mom are friends. But it was the three of us, Nigerians.
Okay. Yeah.
You know. So what was that like in Texas, in Grand Prairie?
South Grand Prairie.
South Grand Prairie.
I mean, I went to school with my cousins that I lived with. So when I was a senior, my cousin, I call him Mookie. What's his real name? Ike. He was in the 11th grade.
How you get Mookie?
Because one day we were watching, because he played basketball. We were watching basketball, and Mookie Blaylock was playing. And I was like, I like that name. And I was like, I'm going to start calling you Mookie.
I think he was like, please don't.
He didn't like it at first, but it's been, you know, years, decades now. So he's in his 40s. He has 2 kids, married, lives in Dallas, Texas. And that's my Mookie.
Okay.
So I went to school with him, and my other cousin, Ngozi, who's younger. She's 2 years younger than me. So I think those were the only Nigerians I knew.
It was 3 and 3. So what was that like? Because so my high school experience was in late 89 to 83. I'm sorry, 89 to 93.
I was about to say 83.
I know. I'm doing your math now in my head. So that during that time, Like right now, it's cool to be nice. It's cool
Oh,
to be.
I was an
ha!
African booty scratcher. I lived in a cave on a tree.
Did you have a pet lion?
I had pet lions. They were looking at Coming to America, and they was like, "You have a bar." Like I'm like, what? Yeah, it was not cool in the '90s. It was not cool.
How did you handle that?
I mean, I've always had a you want to fight mentality. So
But you don't fight, though.
I don't, but I think that my personality was quite. I've heard that I sometimes I have an intimidating personality. So we never got there because I was just like, say it to my face, and then they'd be like, nah,
And
right?
in your head, you're like, please don't.
Please
say
don't say, because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, do I go this way? Do I scratch them? Like, I don't. So I just haven't. And my husband makes fun of me because my husband's also Nigerian, grew up in the Bronx. Fought every day.
My brother Uche, the other Uche, the OG Uche.
Fought every day, right? So he's like, you don't even know how to fight. I don't know if I could. I probably could right now, but back then,
you're Igbo. It's in our DNA.
back then, I would just be like, say it to my face, and nobody really did. So it was just horrible. I hated it. And then don't smell like stockfish.
Oh God.
Don't smell.
Okay. So we have to break that down to people who are watching, because if you're Nigerian, you're probably just like shaking your head right now. But before we explain the stockfish smell,
Yes.
so my high school, Inglewood High School, Inglewood, California,
That's tough.
was I would say 60% black
Okay.
and 40% Mexican. With some sprinkles of South Americans, and but my school was primarily African American. There are 3 Nigerians, 1 Haitian, 1 Jamaican.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. I can literally tell you, it was 1 Jamaican, 1 Haitian.
Wow.
And I think that was the diversity of blackness there. And then we had 1 Puerto Rican kid and 1 white kid, which was just like 3,000 kids. You're the only one.
That's
Here.
it.
But he was mad hood. Like he was Eminem before Eminem, right? So Texas.
Yeah.
How diverse was it? But you said people, African booty scratcher, I got
Yeah.
the same things, but it
Yeah.
was black kids. Was that the...
Yeah, we had black kids, we had white kids, we had Hispanic kids. Remember, like Texas borders Mexico.
So it was very
we
diverse.
had a lot of, yes.
Okay.
So we had a lot of Mexican kids too, but it was a good mix.
Okay.
It was a good
all right.
mix.
So,
yeah.
Mr. Mama, I'm thinking like you're in Texas now. It's just like just So I'm just what I'm picturing. So it's a very
Yeah.
So stockfish,
Okay.
which is delicious, by the way. So tell people what stockfish is first.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
So the Igbo name for stockfish is okporoko.
Oporoko. Oporoko.
And it is I don't even know what type of fish it is.
It's I'm forgetting now. It's because it's not native to Africa at all.
No, because it's
from
what's it called?
Norway in that area.
Yes.
It's
a fish, right?
Isn't it? It's related to what's the fish you can get on your bagel? The lock.
Yes.
Yes.
So because it's like baklava.
Yeah. It's very similar to that.
Yes. So it's like a fish that is dried hard.
Like I'm talking about
like wood. Like
it's literally a baseball bat. Let's be honest there.
And it's like the whole fish dried.
Without the head, which I never understood.
And then it's cut up, right? And then it is like...
But it's not just cut up, it's sawed
yes.
up.
Yes,
like
it's so hard.
You have to use like a wood saw to break it down.
It's so hard. Like now you can buy it in pieces, but back then you would get the whole thing and then you'd have to saw it to the pieces. And it is a staple in Nigerian soups. So your soup is not a soup.
You have to have stockfish.
Without stockfish in there. But the problem with the stockfish is it smells so
is the
strong.
fishiest
It's
smells.
so strong. And if someone's cooking in the house, you're gonna smell like it. Your hair, your clothes, your shoes, everything smelling like stockfish.
But it's not funny though, because as a Nigerian, everybody eats stockfish.
Yes.
Igbos, Yorubas, Hausas, everyone eats stockfish.
Yes.
And we have to do the research and find out how it came to us, because it's not even native to the area.
That would be a good research project.
Yeah. But however, as a Nigerian, if you're walking down the street and you say, "Oh, somebody's cooking,"
You know.
Jesus, who's
know.
cooking? And then if your mom is cooking and you know what's looking, you go to that part. You know, sometimes you even grab a piece of
Take a little
dry,
piece.
a dry,
Yes.
not even cooked yet. Or just,
Yes, it's hard too.
it's delicious.
It is.
You know, I didn't realize it stank until I came to America. But think about it.
It's like a regular
Yeah.
smell. So it's like,
If
it
somebody
smells like
smells that
chicken.
stuff, you'd be like, I'm hungry. Came to America. Can you tell me the first time you heard the insult of stonefish? How confused you were?
I was like, what?
What is smell
What's
you
the
talking
problem?
Like, oh my,
What's the problem?
let's do a role play. Young class. Yeah. Something stank. Smell like shit. Ugh. And you see
You're like,
you do.
minding my business.
That literally happened to me.
Aww.
And I'm sitting there thinking in class, like, in my brain, I'm like, what are they talking about? I say, it smells like fish. Ugh, it's you.
Ugh.
This was 8th grade. And I sat there like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
But mind you, this is a smell I didn't even know.
Right. Your whole life.
And I was traumatized because for a short while, very short while, I didn't want to touch our foods. I mean, it was like 24 hours. But seriously, it was much longer. Like, I was terrified of anything because it's not just dogfish.
Yeah.
We have a lot of food, spices and things we use that are very.
Yes.
I hate to use the word pungent, but it's not because it doesn't smell bad to us.
Yeah.
But again, and then my mother owned an African food store. They didn't make anything
Man,
easy.
lucky you.
So, yeah, lucky and unlucky. You know, but that smell, like, you know, so it was like, but I know for me and even my siblings for a while, you know, we were terrified of being around when something was cooking, whatever the case is, because it would get into everything in the house.
Yes, and it
know.
stays.
It stays,
It
yeah.
stays. Like till today, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law live in the Bronx. When we go over, because my husband's very similar, he takes the children's coats and leaves it outside. If you open that door, because once you open the door, you're gonna smell it
Like, why you putting the kids' clothes in a trash bag? Trust me.
outside, because it's like nah. But you know that's part of like the pride, you know, of being a Nigerian, being an African. It's
So-
cool now.
Were you like I went through a phase where I was very like self-conscious because I came here in middle school, and I was very subconscious about being an African and everything else.
Yeah.
But in high school, I got to my place where I was just like, F it.
Yeah, I didn't get
I
there
am
until
Uche,
college.
Chuku, and Joku. Do not play with me.
Period.
So you say you didn't get there to college.
Yeah, I was, you know, like every African goes through like an assimilation stage where you try desperately to fit in, right? My name's hard, right? It's only 4 letters, but every time, you know, that pause when there's a sub and it's like, I need help with this. And I'm like, really? You know, so it's like, my name is different, you know, like I'm growing up differently in a different like home because you see what other kids are doing. I see that with my kids now. Like my son is in the 6th grade and I worked in the middle school. I know what 6th graders are doing. And I know my son has no idea what that stuff is, but it's all part of like your upbringing. But you know, like I was like, I want to, and my name is like different. I don't know any other Wodos anywhere. Right? And my sister, for example, has like a easier name. Like her name is Adana. So it's like you could say, and so like her friends called her Adana because it's easy to say. And it's like, Wodo.
Yeah, you can Americanize it.
Yeah, exactly. Adana. Or she could be like Donna. You know, like you can't do that with mine.
So, listen, I'm going to admit to it. I remember the first time I completely mispronounced your name because it was something that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying in my brain translate it, but I'm like, what does this translate to?
Yeah.
So,
Just give you quick history. So my name is Wodo, Wodo. it's unique, and it was my grandmother's name. And so I was named after my grandmother. It's popularly known and spelt differently. So it's popularly Nwodo. So Nwodo. And Odo is gold. So it's usually like, because like my name means gold, but it's usually like Wodo, which means a child of gold.
Okay.
Right?
Odo.
Odo, yes. But my grandmother's name is the way my name is spelled. So my parents named me after her. So when people ask me what is, it's like this, oh, that's interesting. I always get, that's interesting. Oh, that's different. Does it mean something? Right? And I always say it means gold. And they're like, oh, that's nice.
I'm gonna rewind.
Okay.
Because I think this is very important because
Okay.
I think if we do this right, we get to really get to know the story behind people, especially people who are in leadership. And like I said earlier, it's not monolith. We're not all the same. We all have our stories, our journeys. And I think it begins way before we were born.
True.
So you're Igbo.
Yes.
Igbo tribe.
Yes.
I'm from the same tribe, but we're different
Yes.
because it's very diverse. I am from Owerri, Idikpole.
What?
So how do you say, how are you doing in Igbo? From Aba?
Dioteno.
Idikpole. Like literally. But it's funny because what you just said right now, I'm like,
What is that?
it's like when you have, it's funny, I remember the first time I saw like Puerto Rican kids, Mexican kids, Dominican kids trying to be like, why you say it like that?
Yes.
So we're from the same tribe, but we're a very diverse tribe.
Yes.
And we're literally miles away from each other.
Yes.
It's not like, we're not talking about, we're talking about like less than a day's drive,
It
a
is.
couple of hours.
Yes.
And you go into a different space and,
Totally different.
And listen, and don't go to Imbise. I'm like, what are y'all been saying? Listen,
They're going to come for you.
I love y'all.
They're people are going to come for you.
But they say when you see us, nigga, my bad. My bad.
You're starting trouble already. It's our first one.
Listen, I'm the right one for you today. But share that story of your people.
Yeah. So I am from Umoru village in Obiomangwa local government area, which is very close to Aba. Aba is very popular. Aba is a very industrial city. And my village is like a really small village. We just got electricity not too long ago. So, and I remember as a child, we used to go to the village like during the holidays, and my siblings and I would be up the night before, packed, ready. Parents would be like, go to bed, because we used to travel by road, right? And that's when the roads were nice. Now the roads are terrible. And we could not.
The roads?
The roads.
The criminals. The bandits.
You can't even get through anywhere, right? And we would stay up just so excited to go to the village, because the village is like the most fun as a kid. It's so peaceful. It's so fun. You get to just run around all day long.
And there's no light.
There's no light, and you don't care that there's no electricity, right? You're getting water from the, what's the thing?
From the well.
The well. They're rolling
the
it up and they're pumping it. You're using an outdoor bathroom. There's a hole in the ground, and you squat to poop, and then there's like leaves, or tissue, right? But it's like the simplest life, and it was so much fun. I remember we would be driving, and the neighborhood village kids would be running on the side of the car because they knew we were coming with like treats and all these things, and like that is like the best feeling, because there was no worries. You knew you were going to be playing all day. Everything's organic because it's a farming community. So everything is fresh off the ground. Everything is made, like brand new. Nothing is manufactured. Nothing is from a package. It's all there. And it's just like, life was easy.
If you've ever had a fruit from a tree, and you just watch the fruit off the tree and just And it was just like,
Yeah.
people didn't get sick.
No.
If you were sick, it was serious.
Yes.
Something was really wrong.
Yes.
Because
if you notice, like, people who live, like, in the village, they all have muscles.
Oh.
And they don't work out.
I live in the village. Call me Rashida.
Like, it's just natural. It's just because all you're doing is eating from the land.
But think about this, though. Like, it's in the genes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many Nigerians, specifically how many Igbos, NBA, NFL?
Oh, yes.
Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And then you're like, wait a minute, are we that amazing? No, it's in the
It's
genes.
in there.
It's in the genes.
In there. It's in
Yeah.
there.
So, how much time did you spend in the village? What was that like? Now we're talking about grandparents.
Yeah.
And all that.
Weeks, like always like the Christmas break, because, we were in school.
Yeah.
So it's like weeks and like, just being there, and then they would have like the story time. And my grandmother,
fire.
yes, they had the fire, and my grandmother, like my aunt or somebody would tell a story about like when they were younger, and we're all sitting there just listening, and just being. It's like no stress, no drama, it's just being just happy to be in a space with like my million cousins that I don't know but know now, right? And all the other like neighborhood children, and just being a part of it.
What about village food?
Oh my gosh. It is
hits
the
different.
best. It's the best. That palm oil.
My favorite thing is?
Huh.
So I'm going to ask you this. So for me,
Yes.
boiled or roasted yam and palm oil with salt.
That's it.
That's
it
it.
for you.
That's it. Now if you do porridge, you do some spinach in there.
Oh, I love me a good porridge with assorted meat.
Assorted meat.
It has to be yes.
Momo.
Has to be assorted. Momo,
For
shaki.
momo is cow skin.
Yes.
And then you have afanu, which is tripe.
Yes, tripe. Deliciousness. Like, yeah. My favorite is probably egusi soup.
Come on, that's
Yeah,
everybody.
but it has to be thick. It has to be thick. I don't like it.
Anything other than egusi, not Igbo. Followed by ogbono.
Ogbono, okra,
the next okra.
slash, yes,
Then okazi.
Then you have the other,
You say
like,
water soup, okazi, and
you have the other
soup.
menial soups. Yeah, but I like my soups thick, just like my stews. I like my stuff thick, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I was just being greedy because I'm hungry right now. So let's now go back. Now you're in high school. What was senior year like? Applying for colleges and all that. Like, I want to hear that story.
I was not like I feel like the me now is very different from the me then. I was I feel like I was more like a simple kid. I was gonna go to like the local university, and I was gonna be a teacher. And so I know. I started off wanting to be a lawyer when I was younger. And then when I was in college, I wanted to be an optometrist. And that was some of like my family encouragement.
Oh, so you didn't know you were going to be a teacher until down the road?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to be an optometrist because I knew, because you know yourself.
Yeah, I got to fix this problem.
Yeah, I knew I can't be like a doctor, right? Like a medical doctor, like in the hospital, like no. So I was like, what do I like? And I wore glasses. So I was like, I want to be an optometrist. And then I heard about like all the years you have to do, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I was like, nah, I'm good on that. So then I was like, what do I really want to do? Because, like, people say I'm bossy. I don't think I'm bossy. And I was like, you know me. And I was like, you know what? I would love to be a teacher. Also because becoming as a Nigerian, that's never on the top 10.
When was this competition happening?
This was like going into college.
Okay, so that senior,
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out what am I...
Right, because I have to pick a major.
Okay.
Right. I don't want to be undecided. I don't want to look like I'm flaky. So I was like, what do I want to do? Right? What would I be good at? And I was like, I could probably be a teacher. And I don't like math, as we can tell from my terrible calculations.
She's like, I was 32 years old when I was 5.
Terrible. And I was like, I could probably be an English teacher.
See, that's what happens when you're the youngest.
No pressure.
Whatever you
No
want to
pressure.
do. But the oldest, you'll be the senator.
That's right. So
Okay.
I was like, all right, so let's do that. So I picked an English major.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to the University of Texas at Arlington.
Okay. What's the mascot?
I wasn't really that much into sports.
Did they have football team?
They did not have a football team.
Okay, that
that's
doesn't
why.
matter. That's mine.
So
Probably the armadillo.
we had don't do
tumbleweeds.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
The 2 shooters.
Terrible. No, I stayed on campus. You know, like I went to class. I was very, very.
So you were on campus.
I was
you
on
lived
campus. I lived
all 4
on
years.
campus. I lived on campus and then I lived off campus. So I lived like in the school
Okay.
dorms, and I hated it because I had to share a bathroom with like my, what are they called? Suite mates, right? So I had a roommate, and then it was like 3 rooms and we all shared a bathroom. Girls are nasty. They're called suite mates, but it's not a suite. It's 3 rooms and a bathroom.
So there's no living room.
Yeah, no living room. Not in the dorms, because all you have is like your room and then the bathroom.
Okay, but I mean, at least it was only 3 rooms to a bathroom.
Correct.
And
It could
where
be
I
worse.
went to, it was
Yeah.
a whole entire
Yes,
15.
yes, it could be worse.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other girls were nasty, and I didn't like that. And I'm very like particular, especially like in the bathroom. Yuck, I hate hair.
Did you have to check anybody? Ooh, I want to hear this story.
I was peaceful. I'm telling you, I was peaceful as a teenager. I didn't get rah-rah until I got older. I don't know. My story's flipped.
Okay.
I just had to tell people about like, you know, like the pads and like when girls are on their period. I was just like, come on now. Come on, you gotta clean up. You gotta clean up. So it never got into like any arguments. I was like, you gotta clean up. And then I said, I gotta go.
But you know, but talking about that, it's funny because I have 3 sisters. And I think Igbo culture, just being clean is such an important thing.
Yes.
You know, and then only that, there's all these abominations around. No, it's crazy. Like every night we had to bathe. It was just all these rules.
Yes.
When I went to college, I was like, "What are y'all doing?"
Yes.
People would cook and leave the dishes in the sink. I'm like,
yes.
no one's going to. You've never been slapped before. No, so it's interesting because
Yes.
culturally we're very. I'm not gonna say we're very clean,
We are.
but it's a standard that was
it's
upheld.
a requirement.
Yeah, it's
in
a
your
mandate.
like. I realized that the other day when my 5-year-old was sweeping, and I was like.
You're traumatizing our children.
I was like,
Yo.
wait a minute.
Yo,
And it
my God.
also shows you like what we see as normal is not normal everywhere, right? So it's like, and he did it without me telling him.
No, I see it the other way. They're abnormal. What are you talking about here?
But when you think about it, like we took baths twice a day, right? You took one in the morning. You had to take a bath before you went to bed, right? So it's like things like that. Other people don't. It's like one bath is good, and it doesn't mean you're dirty. It's just we were just like set up that way where it's like at the end of the day before you lay in your bed, you better wash yourself.
You smell. Go bathe. You're like,
Exactly.
No, just bathe. And
Go
I
bathe
don't care.
again.
Go
Right,
bathe again.
right.
You wash
Yeah.
properly.
Like my mom used to tell me, if I farted, go sit on the toilet. And I'm like,
But son staying there.
I'm like,
Yo, listen. I'm like,
go sit on the
babe,
toilet.
I don't need to use it.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Don't care. Go sit. Because if you're farting, it means you have to poop. Go sit on the toilet. It's crazy.
Wow.
So life
I was
is
abused as a child because I did it to my kids.
And the craziest thing, because the other P that we are is parents, right? So like, all the things I swore never to do, I find myself doing now with my children. And I'm like,
But is it a bad thing?
no, it's not. My mother was right.
No, my kids. Like, so it's funny because they have, like, I love my kids. Like I will die for them. Like, that's not a question. Like, there are times I sit down and just think about them. I'm just like, man, I'm blessed because I didn't know what love was until you look at these children. You're like, wow.
Yes.
But it's funny though. I'm also a tyrant because I'm like, okay, guys, it's time. It's time to go.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, Daddy, turn the TV off. The remote goes
they
right
know.
here.
They know.
And they're going. They pick
It's
us up
a
on the floor,
routine.
put everything where it
They
belongs.
know.
And I'm like, but some people say, oh, that's too much. They're kids. Let them be. No, they're human beings.
Yeah.
And if I let them be, then they'll become something that they will regret in life.
This is why our community has the most successful professionals. Like, we can do the research,
This
right?
community.
The Igbo community.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Nigerian. I'm like,
Well, that too. That too.
This is what it says. It trickles down effect.
It trickles down.
Nigeria,
It's
West
the
Africa.
Africans, right?
Ghana, you can join us. China, you can join us.
Shay, you starting problems, right? But that's why. Because if you look at, it doesn't matter in sports, in arts, in business, it doesn't matter because it is the, what's the word we want to use? Like that structure that you were raised in, right? That's why I was such a strong teacher. I was like a gangster teacher without.
The one teacher that you never had to go to that class to take any kid out. Because when we met, you were
I was a sixth grade
teacher.
English teacher.
I was assistant principal.
Yes.
No, so, I got this.
Yep. I'd be like, the kids have the option. You want to go with Mr. Bonner? You want to go with?
We go
with him. We go with him. The only time, remember, the one time I had to call you, a kid had their hand stuck in the desk, and I think I was pregnant. So I couldn't bend to help them, and he had his hand. I don't know how he got his hand stuck in through, and I was like,
Did I get it out?
Yes.
I do remember the hand situation.
And because someone else came with you because they were like, "What? Obama called for help?" So they were like, "We got to see this," and he was just like stuck, and I was like, "I'm not bending." But it goes back to that. And it's a part of you.
No, like we don't know how. I wouldn't say we don't know how to fail, because failing is part of success.
Yeah.
We don't know how to stop.
Yes. Can't
It's
stop,
like
won't stop.
we will figure this thing out. Like, it will be me and you today.
Yes.
And we will figure it out.
Yes.
Okay, so college.
College was cool. I was on campus. I went to class. What do I remember about college? The older you get, the harder it is to remember stuff.
Did you get your party on?
Yeah. I went to parties.
When you get your party on.
I was not that chick. I went to parties though. I had a good time. Let's just put that out there. But no.
You're like, okay, it's 10:30.
Yeah, and anyone that knows me knows I can't really hang. I really can't.
Absolutely cannot. And she'd be the first one that's like,
Let's go.
What we doing tonight? Then we get to the spot, she'd be like,
a struggle.
I'm fine.
So that was another thing too. I can't hang. So I'm out there yeah, boom, boom. All right, gotta go. I'm tired.
That's part of how you were raised. But what was your bedtime as a child?
Oh, early. It was early.
So this concept of keeping kids up till midnight.
Yeah, no. My kids have to bribe me to be up late, and it has to be a weekend, a break, something, and they have to have already done certain things to earn that. It's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I stay up late because I have stuff to do, but I'm exhausted. By 9 o'clock, I'm exhausted, but I would stay up till midnight. But then, what time did you wake up as a child?
6.
Early.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
And if you have school?
Yes. And you gotta wait your turn. Also, like to use the bathroom and stuff like so. You have to wake up early so that everyone could, because we all share the bathroom.
And to this day, it's me. Sunday
Yeah.
morning, I'm up 5:30.
Yeah,
Like, why am I up?
4:30 is my like internal alarm clock. It doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing. I'm waking up at 4:30, and then I try to go back to sleep, but 4:30. Yeah.
Okay. So you used to get your party on to like 9:30. I swear to you, we've been away to some couple of conferences and things like that,
Oh gosh.
And she's like, okay, all right, guys, what we doing tonight? I'm looking at her like, and everybody looks like, watch this.
I can't.
As soon as we arrive,
Struggle.
I'm looking at the clock.
I don't know.
The few times I'm like,
Yes,
it is
I was
10.
outside.
10. And she's like, guys, I'm ready. Then 10:01. Okay, time to go.
The key now that I'm in my mid 40s, I have to take a nap during the day.
No? Oh, you love your naps?
I do.
But sometimes your naps turn into sleep
I know.
till the next morning.
It's the children. I think that's what it is for me. Because I'm also like a very active parent,
Yeah.
and my kids are busy.
Okay, let's not even get there. That's another. No, that's a very important part.
Yeah.
So college.
Yes.
So anything else about college?
Yeah, college was cool. College was great.
Like you majored in
English. Minor in Spanish.
Spanish. Habla español?
Poquito.
Okay. I have no Spanish whatsoever.
Because you know what I was thinking? I said, I'm going to be a teacher in Texas. And we have a heavy Mexican community. I want to be able to like speak to my parents in Spanish during parent conferences.
You didn't know you're going to be in a different kind of...
I know, right?
You're going to be in East Coast, Texas.
So at one point in my life, I was truly bilingual because the program, we only spoke Spanish in class. And shout out to my college roommate, Briseida. She was from Panama. So Panama. So at home, I'd be like, you gotta speak to me in Spanish. So I was speaking Spanish at school and at home, so I had it. And then I lost it.
It's still there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, some things I can grab. I grabbed, like, when parents are talking.
When they're talking about you. These people... They what?
Yeah. So college was very, like, chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So... Graduated?
I graduated.
In 4 years.
In 4 years.
I did. It took me 6, but it's okay.
It's okay.
4
Nobody's
years.
counting. Nobody's counting.
My parents were counting. Like, Uche, when are you going to graduate?
And I went to junior college.
Okay.
So I think that helped. Like I went to Richland College for 2 years.
Okay.
So I got my associates. So then the key in Texas, I don't know if it happens in New York, but if you graduate with your associates, all your credits go
That's how it is in California.
yeah.
That's
So
how
I was like,
California.
let's do that.
Yep.
And then I went to UTA, and then after I graduated from UTA, I went to Texas A&M Commerce, and I got my master's in early childhood and elementary education.
You're one of the few people that I know that this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Okay. So parents, how do they feel? You already said that there was no pressure.
No.
They were very supportive.
Yes. My
So-
parents are amazing. Like they've been married since 1975. And my father, they met during Biafra. And
We're gonna have to, it's funny because that's a huge
whole
topic.
other, yeah.
But at some point in time we need to have that conversation. Okay.
yeah, so they met, they got
Biafra,
married,
during the Nigerian Civil War.
and they raised us. We were like, middle class. My father worked for NCR because it's like he was a computer scientist.
Okay.
And my mom worked for British Airways
He was a computer scientist where?
in Nigeria
What year was that?
in the 70s.
70s. Computer science in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay. Patrick Emagwali
Okay.
actually designed the framework for the internet.
All right now.
Igbo.
Come on.
I'm just saying, okay.
Talk about it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
your mom worked for
My mom worked for British Airways
And she lived where?
in Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay. Not in Zamunda.
Or Wakanda.
Wakanda. Okay.
No, so we had like a very nice upbringing. My father was a deacon at church, and my parents were always humble. That's one thing that I strive to be, and it was,
You try.
I just.
She did try.
I'm gonna fight you.
Tries.
I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you after this.
But she can't fight.
You don't know
but
that.
But she's still scary though. So I'm like, listen.
You don't know that. I think I can.
You scratch my eyes. Okay, so you graduated. You got your master's.
I got my master's, and
You did student teaching?
Did I do? Yes, I did student teaching.
Wow. Any cool stories from student teaching? Any moments where you were like, "What am I doing?"
I mean, I think I was in like lower because I thought I was going to be an elementary school teacher. So I think I had like little kids, and I was like, "These kids are nuts." Like little kids are gangsta.
Oh yeah.
Like
no.
They don't care. They will look at you in the face like, "What?" And I'm just like, "What is this?" I thought they were like cute and like giving hugs and stuff, and they're like stepping on you. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to teach like little kids? And then they can't do a lot of things. So I have to help you do everything. That's a lot. A lot of bending, a lot of on the floor.
So you weren't like, do I want to be a teacher? You were like, maybe this is not the right tribe of children for me.
Yes. Yeah, but I knew I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, so once I finished student teaching, I like applied, and got a job in the Dallas Independent School District at S.S. Connor Elementary.
Is it called the Dallas?
No, I just...
I'm like the Ohio State. It's like,
it sounds
Sean
better.
McGillicuddy, the Ohio State defensive tackle.
It sounds better. So the Dallas is one of the biggest school districts in the country. And I started teaching 6th grade, because back then 6th grade was in elementary school, 6th grade science, because that was the only position that was available.
Yeah, you taught science.
I was like, I'm an English teacher. And she was like,
the words are in English.
She was like, you'll be teaching science. I was like, okay.
It's a dictionary thesaurus.
And it was my first year. I was in a, what are those things called? Like the little house.
Oh, you were in the trailers?
Yes.
And how that
I was like, this is not what I signed up
was
for.
there AC?
There was AC, no bathroom. You had to walk back
into the building
through to go to the. It was horrible. I was like, this is not what y'all told me. I was supposed to teach English. I'm teaching science. I was supposed to teach a lower, like I think I was trying to teach like 3rd, 4th grade. They gave me 6th grade. And now you have me in the back. Like I was the last trailer in the parking lot.
So how old were you?
I was 22.
22. So you're young.
Yes.
And you had these badass 6th graders.
Man, they were tall, like they were like want to be grown.
Some of them were probably like 17, still stuck. Listen, back in the day before they started, they had an age limit.
It's true. You just kept repeating.
I've actually seen a 16-year-old 6th grader.
That's unfortunate. That's not.
And you're
right.
like, how is this happening?
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. Yeah. So and I taught science and was trying to do labs in a trailer with no water.
What that sounds like? Meth.
Struggle.
Like listen, we're in the trailer, in the desert, we're making meth. This sounds like getting bad.
Seriously. I was like, these people are setting me up for failure. It was tough. And I had on my roster 41 students. Wow. 41 students.
In a trailer?
In a trailer. It was tight.
How big was it?
It was big. 41 students. And I had...
They're narrow.
Yes.
So it's
just long.
Endless sea of kids.
Thankfully, they all didn't show. So I ended up having like 36. That's still a lot.
Yeah, that's
but
like...
on my roster, first year teacher, no experience, nothing. You gave me science, which is what I don't know. Big kids, 41 of them.
Did you have
Don't say an assistant.
Or anything?
I had a teacher that was on the team. She was the ELA teacher. Oh God, why can't I remember her name?
She had your job.
Exactly. Mrs. Wheeler, Paula Wheeler. She was like the Black Farrah Fawcett. She had blonde hair and it was flipped up and it like moved in the wind.
What year was this?
It was 2002.
Okay.
2002. And she would walk and it would just, I was like, I want to be like her. Because she was like, she was like, you know, from Dallas. So she had like the nice draw when she was talking.
That's
and she
hard.
didn't
Let me
take,
tell you
yeah,
something.
and she did not take no miss. She was like, look, girl, you going to do this? Sit down. I'd be like, oh, okay.
The funny thing is, I've actually seen you do that. Thank you, Miss Wheeler.
Shout out to Paula Wheeler. So that was like my mentor, and she would be like, "Don't let them do this, you know, because I was 22, and I'm like, these kids are big, and like some of them were like intimidating, and she was like, nope, you in charge, and I was like, yeah, I'm in charge.
So I think, yeah, I am.
I'm in charge. I got it. So yeah, that was my first. That was the only school I was in when I was in Dallas. I was there for 6 years.
Wow.
And, well, no, I wasn't there for 6 years. I was there for 4 years. My third year, I was teacher of the year. And I had moved.
For science?
No, because the year after, there was like changes. So I became the English teacher. And they moved me into the building. Because they were building. So we were in trailers because we were under construction. And they were making an addition. So the addition was done, so I had a brand new classroom. Wow. I was like, from the trenches to the White House, right? And so I remember, and then I was like, teacher of the year. Oh my God, this is amazing. And then the year after that, I went into like the district, and I became a science instructional coach.
Did not know that.
So like my last 2 years in Dallas, I worked for the district and I was a science instructional coach. Yep. And then
I had no idea.
Yeah. So I said when we started, you're going to find, because it's funny because I don't even really talk about, because when does this stuff come up?
Yeah.
It doesn't really come up as much. So I was an instructional coach.
So when they come into your school from the district, you look at them like,
I used to do this. I used to do this. I had 4 schools. And so my schedule was I went to a different school every day, and then Fridays we were in the office because we had like meetings and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Let me find out, Chancellor. Let me find out. Okay, yeah, you have the building blocks.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I moved.
Moved to where?
I moved to New York.
Why did you move to New York?
I met a man, and I fell in love.
Man fell in love. What's his name?
His name is Uche.
Not me. So how did you meet? What was that story?
So we are part of a section of Abia State called the Ngwas, right? There is Obiamangwa or Obingwa, and there's Ishialangwa. So all the Ngwa people, we have like a national convention. So it's almost like a way for that section of people to know each other, network, you know, like raise your children, all of that stuff.
Explain that more. It's like
okay.
So it's like correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a very well organized African version or Igbo people version of Jack and Jill's, in a way.
Yes.
You know, it keeps the community together.
Yes.
My mother's from Abia State, but she's from Umahia.
Well, that's why I love her so much.
So as a matter of fact, they're having their national conference thing next month.
Nice.
In Long Island. So she's gonna be here.
Oh, I can't wait. We have to
my
like do dinner or
stepfather,
something.
a couple of my siblings are gonna be here. So
cool. Yeah. Okay. So you know, like when you're not from the US, right? The goal is to make sure that you retain your culture, traditions, and all those things. And then for like the younger generations to come up knowing, you know, like who you are, where you're from, and so on and so forth. So it's called NAUSA. So it's like the Ngwa National Association USA was created just for that. So there's a national convention every year in a different city. And everyone comes. So it's like a family reunion. That's how we use it. So like everyone goes.
Massive.
It's huge. Like we take over an entire hotel. So like this year it's in Houston. You should come. I'll send you the information.
She's trying to marry him.
I am trying to marry him off. I'm taking all bids, ladies.
Tempted.
I'm taking all bids, ladies. But this, like it's in a different city, and it's really like if you were younger, it's a great way to meet new people, network. If you were older, it's a great way to see your family that lives.
Stay connected with
Right.
people.
So, in 2002, it was in Long Beach, California. California keeps coming up.
LBC?
It was in the LBC.
Let me find out you out there crip walking.
I was. And so, like, we all went.
Okay.
And, like, my family, my cousins, like, everyone. Because everyone just tries to go. Because it's like you're killing a million birds with one stone. Because everyone's there. And it's funny because I was, like, talking to someone in Dallas. And then we were supposed to meet up there. But he couldn't go. And I'm like, because that was going to be the deciding factor if we were going to,
Look at you.
Shame.
You missed your appointment.
So we went, and that's where I met my husband, Uche. And we were just talking at the table.
When did you know?
When I saw his leather pants. Because that was the topic of discussion. That's how we started talking, because I'm like, who wears leather pants in California? And he had, like, dreads. And in the Nigerian community, we don't really, like, wear dreads. And I was just like, are you Nigerian?
So you saw all the no trouser, no dreadlocks, no.
And it's funny because I actually started his younger brother, IK, was sitting next to him. And we started talking because he's kind of like quiet. So he was just like chill. And we were talking about
Did
like.
he have dreadlocks?
He did. He had like twists.
I had twists. Okay.
He had twists.
So it's not, he wasn't the outlier.
No, right. Well, because I'm like, we don't do twists. Like your parents, if your parents saw you with twists, they'd be like, what's his that?
I had dreadlocks quite a few times.
And they said, what's his that?
Uche,
What is that?
What is this dada in your head?
Exactly. Anything that's not like conventional, there'll always be a question. So I was like, are you Nigerian? And then we just started talking. And, that was 24 years ago.
Wow.
And so we were like, okay, I'm in Dallas, you're in the Bronx. And I was like, all right, we exchanged numbers. And we're like, we'll just keep in touch. Because it's like, who's traveling? Who's doing it? And I just started teaching. In September. And then so I just done a year. Because the convention is every Labor Day weekend.
Oh, so you guys met in the beginning of your career.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I had just finished my first year as a teacher.
Wow.
And he was an engineer because he's Nigerian. And that's one of the top.
Good boy. You were like, trouser, no. Dreadlocks, no. Ha! Engineer. Move up the list.
And I was like, we used to talk because he wasn't really happy in his job. And he was coaching on the side because he played football at Fordham Prep. And he went to Manhattan College, sorry. He went to Manhattanville for his master's.
Okay.
So, excuse me, but he went to Manhattan College. And so he was coaching on the side, and he was coaching his younger brother at Horace Mann. And you could tell the passion, when he talked about like his regular job, he talked about the coaching job. And so I think he found me interesting because I was teaching. And I think that's something that he really wanted to do. But I'm sure he'll tell the story a little different.
So I should plan to have him on the show.
Oh, God. It'll be very different.
Do we even have a show yet? I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay, so then you're at the end of your first year as a teacher.
Yes.
Clearly, you were there for a while in Texas.
Yes.
So you guys were long distance for that.
We were
period of
long
time?
distance. Wow. We dated for 6 years.
Wow.
Long distance. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
That's insane. No. It's insane. It's also amazing at the same time because that is a serious commitment.
Yes.
But you can't be mad to his face.
Correct. It's
tough. You have to page him.
Correct. Seriously.
But that time, cell phones was not really
Cell
popping
phones
yet.
was not popular.
So
no.
You had to have phone plans. Yeah, you have to have the unlimited.
Flip phones. You have to wait till 9
o'clock
for it to be free.
Or you get the plan on your house phone.
Yes, we used to talk on the house phone.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
How we're old.
I know.
The young age kids
They
are like,
have
what
no
are they
idea.
talking
They
about?
have no idea what we're talking
Pager,
about.
like, are
What's
they in the
that?
hospital?
Remember how you used to like make like boobs?
Of all things, that. Parentheses, dot, parentheses.
There you go, right? Those are the things you remember.
Wow, okay. So, 6 years.
6 years.
Was there an ultimatum from somebody? Like,
There was.
like, listen, oh God.
It was
Oh,
me.
madame.
It was always me.
Are you sure it wasn't him? Like, madame, what
Nah,
are you doing?
he could have waited longer.
What guys?
He's a dude.
What dudes?
Dudes.
Like, if it's not broken, why
He
fix
would
it?
have waited longer. I was like, what are we doing? What are
My
we
parents
doing?
are asking me questions.
And you know what? My parents were okay.
My parents are too chill.
Yeah, my parents were very
I wish
chill.
I had your parents.
No, my mom, she asked, but my dad is like the coolest cat ever. My mom was like, what are you doing? What are his intentions?
People are asking questions.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know what's going on. Why is it taking so long? My mom, but only like not all the time. Just like, she wasn't bad.
Gentle nudges.
Yes, she wasn't bad. Yeah, but it was me with the ultimatums because I'm like, because we'd been together so long. So I'm like, how much longer? I'm now 24, I'm 25, I'm 26. What are we doing? I was like, because, also like, hello, like there's people, because for me, I'm like, there's people right here who ready to go right now. And then he would get mad. He would get mad. He'd be like, well, then go then. Get with them then. They're not me. Oh my gosh. It's hilarious.
I'm like, go ahead now.
Go. I'm like, okay, calm down. I'm just telling you like what it is. Just relax. We're here.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you like what the other options are, Just saying. So yeah. And then finally, I came to visit and we went to dinner. And
where did you go to dinner?
Where did we go? Uche.
Crab Shack.
It was downtown.
Downtown.
It was downtown, and it's not open. It's right next to Fat Black Pussycat. I forgot what it was called. It was like a Caribbean restaurant.
I'm like, what?
You know, it's a Fat Black Pussycat.
First of all, this is a PG family rated G.
That's the name of the place.
What is this place?
It's like we used to like party there.
Is it a restaurant? Is it what is it?
It's like I thought it was like a club, but maybe.
Listen, you said that. You saw my. I was like, okay.
You never been to Fat Black?
First of all, I'm still thinking. Listen, I'm from California. When you hear that, you think, "Was this a strip club?" What are we talking about?
It was a spot, and like on Saturday nights, it was jumping
in Manhattan.
In Manhattan, okay. It was now I cannot remember the Caribbean place that was next to it, but it closed down. Fat Black Pussycat. So, they had like.
So it was a club. It was
like they had like poetry nights. Not poetry? What's it when you spoken word? Okay, and it had like 2 floors. Had like a undercover space like in the basement. It was very very cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to dinner at a Caribbean restaurant. It's closed now, but it was very popular. And then we were. You want me to tell you the whole story?
How did he do it?
So
they want to know.
Do you want to know? He had gone to Atlanta on a trip, and he was like, oh, because now you just pull out your phone, but back then he had his camera, and he was like, let me show you some pictures from the trip, and I said, okay. So I'm looking at the camera, and I'm looking at pictures, just flipping through pictures, like, oh, okay, cute, and then the next picture, it was like a white sheet of paper, and it had a will, and I was like, what's this? And then the next thing was like you, and it was like marry me, and I was like,
oh God, my guy. Yo, that's unique.
It was it was very, because I was like, what are these words going on here? And when I looked up, he was like on one knee, and then he said like some really nice stuff that
Did you cry?
Did I cry?
Tell the truth. One tear.
I don't think I cried, but I was very, very emotional because I did not expect it at all.
Okay.
And so it was very, very sweet. And it was just a beautiful ring. And I was like, yes! And everyone in the restaurant was like, no, congratulations! And the waitress brought out some champagne.
Nice.
It's very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you moved. How soon did you move? In the school year?
Yeah, I moved in the summer of, we got married in July, and I moved in June of 2008.
No, we got married in the summer.
We got married in July of 2008.
Okay.
So I finished out my year.
Okay, so you moved in June and got married.
And then
in
got
July.
married the next month. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got married, and I moved. We got a nice like condo in Yonkers, and I struggled to find a job. And I'm like, damn, I am an instructional coach. I don't know. I moved during the freeze.
What year was that?
In 2008.
2008, okay.
So there was a freeze,
so
and I had an English degree. So they were only hiring special ed and math and science.
I was already here by then. So
yeah. So I remember I interviewed in Washington Heights, and I got a job, but then I didn't have. Then the freeze was on, so they were only hiring science. So I was trying to use like my science experience, but I forgot about like the reciprocity with like my teaching license. So I was like, oh God. So I couldn't take the job. So, and then I'm like fighting with Albany because I had an admin license and a regular teaching license from Texas. And the reciprocity process, if anyone has ever done it, is horrible.
It's nonsense.
It's horrible. So in that time, I couldn't find a job. So then I started subbing. So I was subbing in New Rochelle, and we lived in Yonkers. Oh yeah, we're in New Rochelle. While I was fighting with Albany, and then I realized this is gonna take much longer than I thought. It would just be like a couple of weeks. I was like, this might take the whole year. So then I started applying to charter schools because I know like you don't have to be like fully certified. Or something I heard.
Charter schools, you could just
so
have
I was
a pulse. Just kidding.
So you starting problems with everybody. So I applied and I interviewed at the Bronx Charter School for Children, which is on Willis Avenue.
That's a funny name.
It's right down. It's not far from your school.
But it's a funny name.
The Bronx Charter School for Children. Why is that funny?
Would it be Bronx Charter School for adults? I'm just saying. Okay,
that's what they came up with. Maybe that's how they wrote the charter. Oh my goodness.
We didn't need no catch. Okay, continue.
So I interviewed there, and I started working there in February.
Okay.
Because I'd been subbing and then fighting with my reciprocity, so then I started working there in February of 2009. And so I worked there for 3 years once I got my stuff all settled. And then I applied into the DOE.
Why didn't you stay in the charter?
Oh, I hated it.
What did you hate about it?
I didn't like the hours. The hours were too long. I always say this. As a parent, I would put my kid in a charter school because charter schools are like, I feel like they're set up to try to be like private schools, right? As a teacher, no, it's too much.
I've heard the same thing.
It's too much. It's too, and I came from Dallas, so like I had like somewhere I had a frame of reference.
You're not a rookie.
Right, and it was just too many like requirements, too much time. Like I was there a long time, and then you're working during like breaks and stuff like that because part of the charter is extended days, so more days than a regular school day. So I was like, nah.
Was the pay commensurate to the amount of hour time you put it in?
Is it ever? No, no. But it did pay more than like the DOE, because when I left, I took a pay cut. But I was like, peace of mind is free.
Precisely, you make that better.
Yeah. So once I got my certification, I was like, it's time to go. And so I applied to like 10 schools in the Bronx in all different districts. And my first interview was at MSTA.
With Maria
318
Lopez?
with the founding principal, Miss Maria Lopez. And I had an interview with her for the 6th grade ELA position. And answered the questions. I felt good, and I had 9 more to go, like spread out, like because I quit. Oh, I didn't tell you this. I quit the charter school because I was like, no, enough, without having.
How did you quit?
I
was it
said,
spectacular?
Well, no, it was the end of the year, so I was like, I'm not coming back.
I thought you went in there.
No. I was like, I'm not coming back. No. I was like, I'm not coming back. So my husband was like, who gonna pay these bills? What are you doing? Exactly.
Yeah. You need to consult with me before you do this.
Right. I was like, do you want this wife or do you want like a crazy crazy wife? Right. And I told myself, don't worry, I got it. I'm gonna find a job before the summer is over. And yes. So I'm like,
you have to be like a complete idiot to not get a job if you're licensed.
Exactly. So I was like, don't worry about it. I have all this time. I'm gonna interview and I'm gonna get a job and it'll be like nothing happened.
You said you had 10 set up. So that was you're gonna get something.
Yes. So I went to that interview and I was driving home and I stopped at like a corner store to get like a snack. And I got a call. Is that me? Yeah. I got a call, and it was Maria Lopez. And she said, would you like to come work at, then it was like IS 318. And I said, sure. And that was it. So all the other interviews I scheduled.
And what year was that?
To 2012.
2012, okay.
2012. So September 2012, I started at IS 318 as a 6th grade ELA teacher.
So, slight rewind. What was it like, kids in Texas, and kids staff, the culture in Texas schools versus like the charter schools before we go into 318?
So I get this question a lot when people know I started in Texas, and I say, the kids were the same. The only difference was the accent.
I say something about California.
It's true. The only difference was the accent. Yeah. That's it. That's it. The kids are kids. So it's just one sounded like, hey, how y'all doing? Where y'all going? All right. And I was like, yo, what's up, son? What we doing? It's the only difference. They act the same.
Get into the same shenanigans.
Yep, they get into the same shenanigans. They do the same things. They say the same things. It's
What about parents and staff?
That's a good one.
And leadership too. Administration.
Bronx parents are more gangsta.
More gangster? Are gangster?
Are more gangsta than Texas parents.
Okay.
Is because like I think parents are gangster, like if it's about their child.
Yeah, okay.
So they come in, but like my Bronx parents, they got it. And then like with leadership, I think I've been blessed to like have really good principals and assistant principals. So I think that it depends on because it depends on the leader's personality. Right, so if you're able to work with them, and I was able to work with like my principal in Dallas, Miss McMillan, as well as, and I still keep in touch with her, and then like in the charter school, and now, and then you.
Okay, before you get to me, so now you're at MS 318.
Yes.
So now you're in the DO in New York City.
Yes.
Now it's New York City Public Schools, but back then NYCDOE.
DOE.
So you in the dough. So what was that like? Walking into that, but now I know the building you're talking about. So
right.
This is what 2 years before I got there.
You got there in 2015
or 14.
2014.
14. So that was April.
The year
April
Christian
14.
was born.
Okay. So no, was that there April?
No, because Christian was already born, so it was April 2015.
15. No, yeah, you're right. 15.
Yeah.
15. I was 14 at the other school, then 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Then exactly 15.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like walking into that building? Because now I know that neighborhood.
Oh, it was.
And I love that, and I love it.
Yes, because like only a certain type of person can excel in that type of school because it is rough, tough, all of the above, right? And I came from elementary. So this was my first middle school experience.
Oh, the charter school was
The
elementary.
charter school was elementary.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
in Dallas, I was in elementary. Charter school was elementary. Because remember, my master's was in elementary ed. So I was like, I'm just going to be with the kids. I actually thought I was going to do kindergarten, which is hilarious now.
I did not see that.
Me neither. Me neither. But back then, I thought I was going to do kindergarten. And I walked in and I was like, where am I? Where am I?
That was my first day
Where
in school.
am I?
That was
Is
my
this
first-
a real place?
That was my first day. I was an assistant principal. I walked in like, what?
It was like, lean on me.
And she called me Joe Clark.
He is Joe Clark. That's what I call him. Like, it was like, lean on me. Because, like, kids are older. They cussing. They're doing it all. They're in the stairwells. They're trying to sneak around. They're trying to do stuff with each other. You know, like, they're trying to smoke.
They're trying to holler at the teachers.
Like, I'm like, where am I? What did I, and I thought about like all the other schools that I had scheduled. I was like, why would I go with the first school? Why didn't I like interview more?
Like, God, what did I do? God, what did I do? Please.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It was like a shock. That's what it was. It was like a shock. It was like a shock.
So,
Turn this off.
So, your first class, you were teaching. You came to teach 6th grade.
Yes.
So, so tell that story. What was that like? That the first classroom, setting up that classroom.
Oh,
like,
man.
because you come from a charter where
Yeah.
you're in these. Not only that, you coming from Texas where you had a brand new classroom.
Yes.
And I'm going to imagine that Dallas, even though the kids are the same, very different. But I've been to Dallas once, but it's a very clean.
Yes.
Everything's very
big.
structured.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything
Like,
in Texas is bigger.
Space.
You know?
And it was a new building, so everything I had a smart board. You know, like it was like.
There's a staff room.
Yes, there's a lounge.
Vending machine.
Yes.
Probably
yes.
in the cafeteria.
I had a parking lot, so we parked our cars in the parking
So you
lot.
didn't have to-
There was a front
you didn't have
and
to drive
back
around
parking
Tremont and
lot.
Prospect
No,
and
no,
put
no,
these
no, no,
lots.
no. We had 2 parking lots in the school, one in the front, one in the back. So it's like those little things. So now coming into like Prospect Avenue, no parking, dog poop, you know, like, and it's not, you know, like people say negative things about the Bronx all the time,
No.
and this is not one of those
No.
because the Bronx is a beautiful place and it's just different. You know, the people are different. You know, you're walking down and you're like, hey, moms, what's up? And I'm like, hi. And you're like, do I say hi? Because I don't want to, like, encourage them. But then if I don't say hi, then will they beat me up? You know, so.
Yeah, no, that's real talk. That's real talk.
You know, so it's like, it was just really, and the kids were different. They spoke differently. You know, like in Dallas, everyone's respectful. Everyone's respectful. And it's like, yo, moms, what's up? And I'm like, who? And then so now the Nigerian in me is like, who are you talking to? Who's your moms?
It's not what's your mouth.
You know, but, you know, like even just like setting up my classroom was smaller than I was used to, even from the charter school, right? And that charter school I worked in, they had their own building. Most charter schools share space, but this charter school had its own building. So we were the only ones there, you know, so being in that space where there's other schools in the building, a small classroom with a lot of tables, a lot of chairs, minimal, like, you know, supplies and stuff. I had to like buy stuff. It was different. It was different. And then once the kids came in, I was like, okay.
It's your first day of school. So how was it? Okay, now, so before you met the kids, you met staff.
Yes.
Your new colleagues. How was that?
It was good. You know, I there's people from my first year I'm still friends with today, right? And then there's other people I could never see them again, and it's okay, right? Because there's people that you work with that you know you would only interact with because you work with them,
yeah.
right? But it was, you know, like that school was like a family, and the more time I was there, the more it became, you know, like more like a family. You know, so it was it was for someone that came from elementary to middle, there was just a lot of shock with like the children, with like the way like kids were like escalating really fast. And it's like, oh, you mad? And then you want to like fight, and then am I breaking up this fight? Is someone coming to help me? You know, so it's like learning all those things to come like in the middle school. Who do you call? You know, like if something happens, what do you report? How do you report it? You know, like when do you call the parents? When do you sit with the kids and talk to them? It was like all those things were like brand new for me.
So, fast forward. You know, so you finished your first year. What did you learn? What did you learn from your first year?
I was stronger than I thought I was. Yeah, I was like, there were times where I was like afraid, right? And it's, a lot of fear comes from like not knowing, right? So by the end of I was like, I could do this. Like, this is nothing. And you got to fake it till you make it. I learned that my first year because everyone just looks like they know what they're doing and they're saying all the right things. And I'm over here like falling over my words and not sure. And I'm like, I'm gonna fake it till I make it. And if I don't know, I got people now that I can ask who are not gonna judge me, who are not gonna say, oh, she thinks she's all that and she's not, you know? So it's like, I learned that, especially with kids, because that's the key to having like strong relationships with children, even because you're like, children are humans. So we're not set up to like everyone, right? So like with the kids who were not like, that were like difficult or just not my cup of tea, those were the ones I focused on. Like, I'm gonna love them until it's gonna be fake love, until it's real love, you know. And then once you get the kids, it's easy peasy from there. Because now they'll do whatever you want because they're like, this person cares about me. So if she wants me to sit here and write this passage, I'm gonna do it.
And they become your biggest champions.
Yes. And they're very protective, especially like my boys, you know. And then I didn't have any kids or anything, and it was always the boys for me. They were always like, I got your back, miss. I got you, you know. So it's like, I remember that till today. I'd be walking down because, you know, it's like the kids are in the neighborhood, and it's like, Miss Sabana. I'm like, hey guys, hi.
And now they're grown men.
Yes. I have a student from MSTA that works in my building in the after school program for the other school, and she's 21. And she was like, Miss Ivana? I'm like, yes.
she probably got shook. It's like,
and I was like, she looked familiar, but you know, kids grow. Yeah. So when they grow up, they look different. And when she said her name, I remembered her name. And I was like, you are bad. She was like, I'm better now. And I'm like, I see that because she's working in the after school program.
And then you became a mom.
I became a mom.
So what was that like?
I mean, you know, as a teacher who didn't have kids, whenever parents would get upset, they would always say whatever they said, and they would say, do you have kids? And I would say no. And they would say, you don't understand. And I used to be so bothered by that because I used to say, even though I don't have kids, I do, you know,
I spend all my time with your children. I'm
here with your children. These are like my children. So I do understand, but like that would bother me. And I'd be like, all right, whatever. And once I had Christian, because I had all three of my kids in that building, I was like, I understand what they're saying now, right? Because when you become a parent, it's a different type of like love. It is a different type of care and protection. So it also gives you some like street cred with the parents because it's like whenever I say, oh, I understand, I have kids too, they are always like, okay, then you do understand, as opposed to you don't understand and da 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 da. So, but you know, it's interesting.
So what was that like, you know, being pregnant at the school? Like, was there any fear, any concerns? You know, how did kids connect to you? staff, administration? What was that like?
I mean, I enjoyed being pregnant in that building because you're like treated like a princess. You know, the kids were like, "Are you okay, miss?" You know, like, "Don't stress her out, the baby." You know, like if kids were like wilding and stuff. I remember one time so it was dismissal, and someone came from like the neighborhood and they pulled a knife. And I was like, and I was walking with the kids. They were looking for a child, and it wasn't any of my children. And he had the knife, and I was pregnant, and literally, like, my boys like stood in front of me, and they were like this, right? And he wasn't pulling it on me. He was just ready for whoever he was looking for. So like moments like that, or like I was on the 4th floor, and I would take the stairs because I'm like, you know, just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you're like handicapped. So, and I'm like, I want this baby to come out. So, and people would be like, "Why are you taking the stairs? Take the elevator." And I'm like, "No, it's fine. We'll take the stairs." And I went into labor in that building.
So that's going to be my next question. I know that happened. I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
So what was that like? And what, I mean, because I know everybody just like the team, like Voltron.
But it was very calm because I don't think, and that was with my second son, Micah, I don't think I knew I was in labor, right? I just thought I was having Braxton Hicks. So I'm in the office with Suleika, and we're talking about something work-wise, and I'm like taking long breaths. So I'm like, "Give me a second." And I'm like, "Ugh." And she's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Just give me a second," right? And so it's happening more frequently during the meeting. And I already had like a labor plan for everyone in the school. I was like, this is my house. And at that time, White Plains Hospital had just built a new maternity wing, and I was determined to be one of the newest mothers in there. So I'm like, if anything happens, get me to my hospital. That's it. So we're sitting, and we're talking, and then she's like, "No, I think you're going into labor." And I'm like, "Nah, this is just regular."
This was with Micah.
This was with Micah. Okay. And she was like, "No, I think you're going." And I was like, "Okay, all right, if you say so." Right? And
that was my first year. Was that my first year there?
2016. It was your second year. He was born in 2016, September. He was born in the second week of school.
Wow, that was my first year as principal.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was in the assistant principal's office.
Yeah.
And we were going over something, and Carrie had to drive me home and I was like in the car like, and I should have, and she was going to drive me to the hospital. And I was like, "No, this is just one of those like fake things. Let's go to the house. Let me get my bag, call my husband, all this stuff." And long story short, that I did not go to the brand new maternity ward at White Plains Hospital, because I ended up having him at Bronxville because I went into labor really fast and had him on the stretcher, pretty much.
No. No. So, okay. That building has all your stories.
All my stories, all of them.
So so let's rewind a little bit. So, Christian's born. Mm-hmm. What year again was that?
2014.
2014. Then at that point in time, you're part of the community now. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of this is a blur for me because a lot of things happened really quickly because I come into that story at that point in time. So I remember, I do remember April 15, 2015.
Yeah.
I was in a very bad place in my career, coming out from a very crazy situation in the school I was coming in, and all of a sudden I was told, "Okay, you're coming to the school." Mm-hmm. And I knew nothing about anyone in the building. all I knew was a couple of things. I was told very clearly this, according to Orr's reports, this is the most violent middle school in the Bronx. I was told the staff, they're lackluster at best. And I remember the first day I walked in there. Who was the acting principal after Maria? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You don't have to say her name.
Yes.
I remember I walked in with, because I was brought in, I wasn't sure why I was being brought in. I just knew they were like, they need help at this school. I thought it was going to be a temporary situation. I walked in and I was introduced to the principal, shook her hand, superintendent, Espinal Pacheco was, Rafaela was like, talking about the school and everything else. And I'm sitting there and it was also, what's his name? The deputy.
Jorge.
Jorge.
Yes.
Jorge Estrella.
Yes, shout out
Jorge.
to Jorge.
He's talking and whatever. I'm looking and I'm like, what happened to the principal? I'm looking like, she was right here. Looking around. And they're like, oh, today was her last day. I was like, so who's the principal? He's like, for right now, we're going to bring to the district.
Yes.
And I'm like, to be in charge. But I'm like, but who's running the building? And they look at me like this. Not that I can't do it.
Right.
But this is the most bizarre situation. So, and I remember when I walked in to meet the staff, I was like in a daze, like,
Where am I?
going on here?
Yeah.
And I remember I met this kid, Vincent, Victor.
Okay.
He's the hoe with a white beater on, tied it up. I'm like, whose daddy is that? He a new officer, doing school hours. And I walked up to him, he's like, what's good? And I'm like, looking at him like, oh, this is a student.
This is a student.
In a white beater. It's 2026. In a singlet. Tied it up.
Yeah.
Big old afro.
Yes.
And I was like, Where
am I?
this? So this is what I walked into. And it was a very, but they're also talking about closure.
Yes.
Merging the school.
Yes.
So what was that like for y'all? Because I walked in and that was a narrative already built. So what I'm hearing, because I know for a fact that the school was still an amazing place.
Yes.
There was amazing kids there.
Yes.
But there was a narrative built. What was that like for you, the staff? Because again, that's something I didn't know because now I was the new warden. That's how I was brought in, to take control of the school and things like that.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you? What did you guys think? It's definitely not about me, but I've been to school where the new guy walks in. You're like, oh God, here we go.
Here we go, another one.
So literally, I was another one.
Another one.
So and there was another one after me.
Yes.
That came.
Yes.
So that chapter.
I mean, I don't even think we thought about we heard about like possible closure, but like when you're in it, you don't really that's not a focus, right? And we like really cared about the kids, so we were just trying to like save as many as we could. Because there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of like gang activity. There was a lot of like cutting, slashing, that stuff. And we were just like, at the end of the day, these are children. So like the staff, our goal was like, if we could just save, it was like a kid at a time. It was a kid at a time. Because it was like just too much going. And kids were not talking. They were talking with their hands. So like you could be in a class and 2 seconds later, a fight erupts. And there's another, and you're dealing with this, and another fight erupts over there. So it was just, we were just like, what is going on? And we were just trying to make it as peaceful, because it's not all the kids either. So think about like the quieter children, right?
Who are the majority?
Which are the majority, but the loud ones make the most noise, so that's what you're focused on. And so it's like, how can we just like, everybody just chill? Everybody just chill. So, and then when the principal left and then the second principal left, we were like, what are we doing? Like, is this, how is this going to end? But we couldn't focus on that because we had children in front of us. So I think that even without talking about it as a collective, we all made that decision. Like, we're just going to try to save the children.
Do the work.
Yeah.
There's, I just thought about something. There's two incidents that I never spoke to you about, and I'm now curious about what was happening and how did you feel about this? Because I know there was two news reports that I saw before I came into the building. The sixth grader who was slashed. So you being a sixth grade teacher, I'm assuming that was one of your kids.
That was my.
So if you feel comfortable telling that story, and then the other one was the African boys, the Ebola.
Oh yeah.
Then there was a riot. So I came in.
I think I blocked some of these out of my mind.
But again, that was when she I wasn't told what school I was going to until Friday at 3:00.
That was smart of them.
And I had to report on Monday.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I literally left where I was at and drove to the neighborhood because I was like, I need to see what I'm coming to.
Yeah.
Then the weekend I was reading up, I was like, did I just say yes to this? So what was going on there? Whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
I mean, the sixth grader that got slashed, he was in my class. He was like, I still remember him. I can see his face right now. He's very handsome, very smart, a very involved mother, right? And what's that noise?
I think it's one of the cameras.
And he was just like a joy. It was like my son. And I remember that the day he got slashed, he was like, Miss, because that's the middle school thing, Miss. And he's like, Miss, you go into the game because we had a basketball game. And I said, no, I can't make this game because I tried to go to the games when I could. And he was like, all right, so then I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And later on, I heard about like the slashing, and they said, first they just said a kid got slashed. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. And then when I found out it was him, and all I could think of was like, I just thought about the mother, right? And I said, oh no. And I knew him enough, because like when you're in middle school, you know what the kids are doing,
yeah,
right? Good, bad, legal, not legal, like you know what they're doing. And all you can do is like guide and pray, right? And so, but he was a really good kid. And I was like, how did this happen? And then the worst part of the story is like learning later that it wasn't even supposed to be him, right? It was a case of mistaken identity, and it was some like gang situation, and they thought that's who it was, and they slashed the wrong child. And his face, I mean, they slashed that like across the face.
And for those people, I'm sure people are going to be watching this who are not from New York. But the thing was, I didn't even know what. From the first time I heard slashing, I didn't understand what that meant because it's not even. I'm from LA, and not to make.
You think about tires.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what? And they were like, no. And I remember the first time I heard that I was in Walton, that's where I started my career in the DOB. And someone was like, yo, he got $150. I was like, okay, yo, speak English.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah, he got from ear to mouth. I was like, what? And so the kid get your face slashed with a knife. So and I remember reading that it wasn't even him they were looking for, and I can only imagine as a parent, but back then I was not a parent.
Right.
Now as a parent, that's one of my biggest fears is like getting that call about my child.
Yeah.
And then and I hope if wherever he is that he's good and life is treating him well because it's not anything you would wish on anyone.
No, it was just really sad. And just speaking with his mom, like they moved, right? Like they left the school, and I was like really sad because I'm like, this is like a good kid, and sometimes those type of situations change you. Yeah. Some hopefully for the good, not for the bad. But and those stories happen every day, unfortunately.
Did it change you?
Yes. I mean, I think the hardest thing about that situation was like I was helpless, right? There's nothing I could have done, whether I went to the game or not, whether, like he just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I think it made me care more. I think it made me care more about like the children in front of us, regardless of like how they behave. Because I think at that time, if you were like getting in trouble, cursing and all that stuff, I wasn't really messing with you. And I feel like after that, I'm like every kid has to have like my attention because there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. You know.
And what was the situation with the Ebola one? And I saw that in the. It was an article back then, and it made the Washington Post.
I know.
Which I was confused about. I'm like, that's D.C. This is New York City.
It was just the timing of everything, right? Because I wasn't as involved with that situation as like with the child. But it was one of those things that happens every day in school. Like when you were called an African booty scratcher and, you know, like whatever, it was just like that. I remember those kids, they were very African, you know, like they had just come. So they were just trying to learn their environment.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they had just come, so they were fresh. And kids were just being mean, you know, and I was surprised that it went that far. Like it was bad, but I was very surprised and that's the power of a mother, because that mother was not playing. She was very upset and she was like, this is not okay. And she was the one that took it all the way.
Okay, so that part I don't know. Like what transpired? Because all I know is that they were jumped in the cafeteria, and little I heard that they got stomped out. Like it was a beating.
Yeah. So I wasn't there. So I just know like they were being made fun of,
Okay.
and then there was like a physical altercation in the cafeteria.
Okay.
And then I remember the mother coming to the school very upset, like any mother would. And she felt like there wasn't enough being done in response to it. You know, and I feel like parents feel that way all the time because there's like steps and protocols to everything. So sometimes it looks like nothing is happening, but stuff is happening. But if you don't see it right away, then you get even more upset. So she called the news.
Oh, so she's the one who put it out there.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't playing.
No, that's why I was like, it speaks to the power of a mother, because she was like, nope, we're not my children. No. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is our school. This is not good. But I would say it goes back to like the fabric of the staff. Like we stuck together, you know, and we continued to just focus on what was important, and it was the kids. And the kids that did it, they got, you know, like they got reprimanded and they got, you know, like punished. But in that moment, she was like, no, this is not okay. And you guys look like you're not moving fast enough, so I got it. And she took it all the way to Washington. Crazy.
And then the last one was the riots, which that one I still don't know what happened.
Don't ask me. I'm like, what happened?
But I felt like that was the linchpin that brought me
goodness.
into the building.
Don't ask me about the riot.
So it was just a riot.
It was a riot.
A lot of kids got suspended for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, she's a great teacher. How did you leave the classroom? And the thing too is because you're a principal right now, so this is a very important. You know, what was that like? And it's funny because now I know you're bringing in so much of skills from the past that into this space.
Yeah.
So,
I became a coach. Someone in this room.
Spirits. Let's hold my hand. No.
No, remember I had Micah the second week of school.
Yeah.
So it's hard to bring a sub in when school just starts. And so my principal at the time was like, I'm going to have to hire someone to take that spot because you're going to be out for like 3, maybe 4 or 5 months. And I can't have a sub in the beginning of the year, which makes complete sense. So I went on maternity leave and I came back in, I want to say December or January.
That was of
2016. He was born in 2016, so I came back like 2017. So the 16-17 school year. And it's like there's a coaching opportunity. And, you know, you've been teaching for a long time. and it's, you know, that way you can support your colleagues. And I loved that role because I still taught. I think I taught one class, and I did advisory, and then I supported like the ELA teachers. So I started as a coach, and then the next year I was a dean.
Academic dean.
Academic dean.
Thank you, former deputy superintendent who gave that idea.
Yes, which was a very important role, right? So, and then I did a lot of work with like a lot of restorative work, and that was just when
you were great at it. You were really good at that.
Thank you.
No,
that was just when the district was shifting from being more punitive to being more restorative.
So we were ahead of the curve.
Yes. And so, because you know, when you're around kids so much, it's like they're doing this because of something else.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So I can't punish them because they can't deal with these emotions, and this is the only way they know how. So it's like we have to like get to the root of it and then teach them to talk and explain as opposed to like fight, and then we punish them for having only one way to respond to how they were feeling. So I got that. And so that was like my area. And then the work that we had to do on getting off the persistently dangerous list was heavy, right? Because I was like, we can't be the worst middle school in the Bronx.
I sent you to all the trainings.
Man, I'm restorative trained all the way, right? And just the paperwork and like highlighting how we were moving students from like thinking about violence and choosing to talk about it, what systems we had in place, like all of that stuff, you know, and then the disciplinary stuff. And that's where like being a Nigerian helped, because I was like a drill sergeant, right? Oh, that's what you're doing? Here's a consequence. So it's like, it's funny now in my school, whenever I bring up the chancellor's regulations, everyone's like, right? She knows them. Because I'm like, it's a violation of the chancellor's regulations. What are we doing?
B-52.
Hello. And what are the interventions? Boom, 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 right? So I think that being brought up in a Nigerian house, you have no choice but to be like, boom, boom, boom. There's no like, what? You got to be certain. What is it? Is it A or is it B? So like, and kids need structure. They crave it as much as they fight against it. So for me, it was very natural, you know, and it was great because I'm really good with like families. So even if it's bad news, I'm like, all right, now have a seat because you're not going to like it, but this is what it is, you know. But I think that all of these things, even from like Dallas, right? Like I was the youngest. I was one of the youngest teachers. You know, I was 22 in my school. And to become a teacher of the year within 3 years, that was a lot. And then going in, I was 25, right? And then becoming a coach, because I had only taught 4 years. And then now responsible for multiple schools. So it's all this like leadership building I didn't even think about, right? And then coming to New York, and I remember in the charter school, I used to do like guided reading groups, and the lady would come in and she'd be like, oh wow, right? Because it's like you, let's go. You know your roles, do it. And then I would pull a group, and it's like, so things that were normal to me, people were just starting to do, right? So I was a little bit ahead of the curve. And then coming into MSTA and like that being my base, that also helped, because there's power in, I taught here, right? And I coached here, and I dean here, and now I'm an assistant principal here. So it's like I'm taking all of you with me. So it helped with like even like the littlest things. Oh, this roof is leaking, right? Okay, I could talk to the custodian because he knows me from when my classroom had a tear on the wall and he fixed it. So he's like, I got you. I don't have to fill out an extra paperwork. I can.
Our guy Anthony.
Yep, who's a fireman now.
Oh, okay.
He's a fireman, you know. So it's like all of those things because
he was the handyman then.
Yes,
So he's like, oh,
yes.
I gotta connect with him.
Yes, and you never. If you had told me 5 years ago, if you had told me 11 years ago when we met that I would be a principal now, I would have laughed in your face. And the interesting thing is, I came to New York with my admin. So I had it, but I was like, not right now. And then they didn't accept my program because it was a Dallas-based program. It was an alternative, like, administrative program. They only accept, like, university programs.
Yeah.
Even though it was tied to a university, they were like, no, it has to be the university program. So I had to go back to school in New York. I went to City College, and that's where I got my admin, right? And had it, took the test and everything, had to retake it during COVID because it expired because I had just started as an admin, right? And like all of these things. And I'm like, all right, I'm just having it. Because as an African, you always have to have a backup plan.
Yeah, you have to have all the degrees possible.
Always. As many as you can, you have to have a backup plan. So that was I was like, if anything, I could say I have this. And if something comes up that I really want, I can get it and not say, well, I don't have the requirements. Exactly. So that was my thought process. And so to do all that and then at MSTA and just like be there, like that was my base for so long, like it was like I knew everyone in every piece of it because I'd been there for so long, from 2012 to 2023, one place, like 4 different roles.
Yeah. And I have to tell you this. Your role at the time when you were the academic dean, and the work that you did around really getting us out of that persistently dangerous schools, but that was all you, because I was just like, listen, I need you to take care of this. But what I remember most is the moments that you would come in and say, hey, Uche, listen, no, we can't do it this way. But I'm old school. I was old school, hammer down. And it's funny because I look back at being, that was like my second year's principal.
Yes.
And I just remember thinking like, nah, I'm Walton, I'm these spaces, we don't play games. And you were very much the same way, but then you were like, oh, no, I've seen the light.
Yes, exactly.
I've seen the light.
Yes.
And a lot of those conversations we had, I still subconsciously tap into today because now I'm saying the same things to my team. No, we can't do that. Okay, are we really following the progression of responses here? What's our guidance intervention, and also understanding that, remembering that when the kids do what they do, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Our job is to find out what that reason is. Because if we don't find out what that reason is, and we just punish and just then we assimilate them back into the community, the problem is still there. Yeah. It's going to happen again, And so I thank you for that, because again, that's something to this day that I remember. I remember like being, okay, I got to change, because the way I was trained in DOE was not the right way.
Yeah.
It was what we needed for that time.
Yes.
But the times have changed. So, okay. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And becoming an AP.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to skip past all that. So what was that like for you? Because I know it was abrupt.
It was it's interesting because it's like there's 2 parts to it, right? I was kind of doing that work already as a dean. So that part was like,
but first of all, because I was actually trying to hire you as an AP.
Yes.
And they blocked it.
Yes.
Some people blocked it. It's okay.
It's okay.
Because those people are not in this position anymore.
Why are you trying to start problems?
No, but that person, there's always going to be problems. I don't want peace. I want problems. But, however, it was a blessing.
Yes.
It was definitely a blessing.
Yes.
Because one of the things, and I know you do the same thing now, if you work with me, I'm going to push you to your limit.
I do. Because,
again, what happens if I'm not here anymore?
Yes.
Because we don't leave with the knowledge.
Correct.
We make sure everybody has it around us.
Yes.
So originally that was the plan.
Yes.
And that's why we made sure to put it on there, academic dean, not just dean. And you fulfilled that. You were coaching, you were doing all these different things as well.
Yes.
So now, the transition and it happened during the craziest time in human history.
Oh my God.
Not even our personal lives or in New York City, in human history. What was that like? I didn't see that shit coming.
That was probably the hardest year of my professional life. Actually, no, it's the second hardest year of my professional life.
What's the first? There you go.
My first year as a principal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
It was, I mean, this was during COVID, like right before COVID.
Before COVID. But
Right
things were
before-
quiet. Things were just.
Before the storm, you know, like, so it was great. Like, it was bittersweet, right? Because we'd always talked about like being in a principal AP situation, and so like it didn't happen, right? And so you left me.
Oh, Brooklyn was. Listen.
You
Brooklyn was
left
calling.
me. He left me, and
Honestly, that was the hardest part. I won't even lie. That was the hardest part because but listen, I tell everybody you're my sister. They're like, oh, for real? That's your sister? I'm like, yes. Yeah. And that was the hardest part of making that transition, leaving the school to go to Brooklyn to be a high school principal. But also, it made the way.
so I'll say this. You left me. I'm gonna go back to it. So he
I'm
tried
trying to be this nice.
He tried to no. He left me, and he didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. You hurt me because you didn't tell me. Because you saying it like we're like siblings.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What? You didn't tell me. And I was like, my whole heart. But it's okay. We're past that. I just wanted to make that statement. But you leaving opened up the opportunity. So I became the assistant principal. And it was tough. My transition into becoming an AP was harder than my transition going into a principal. Because it's also like this same team that we'd always rallied together and worked together. Now I'm your supervisor. So that was really tough because these are my friends and I'm supervising my friends now. And some people were okay with it, and some people, it was just harder for both of us. You know, like for me as the new AP and for them as, you know, someone I'm supervising. So, yeah. And then there's all the other things that, because, you know, when you're a pseudo person, there's things that you don't know. So then when you become the person, there's all these things. You're like, oh, I have to do all these things too? Got it.
You have to learn all these things.
I have to learn all these things because I didn't have access to it. Now I have all this access. Now I have to actually like do these things. So it was tough. And then the next year was crazy because COVID came. I was pregnant and the principal was remote. And I was the admin in the building. That was a lot.
You were literally the acting principal in the first year.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a lot, you know, but I had Nate. Shout out to Nate. And, you know, like core people that supported, because it was tough, you know, and just dealing with like the whole COVID requirements and like then we were hybrid and kids were home, kids were in school. Like it was a lot. And I credit my superintendent because she trusted me. I was new. She could have brought somebody in and said, you do that. But she was like, because I was like, all right, I had a meeting with her and I was like, all right, I know somebody's coming. Who is it? When do I meet them? She was like, she was like, it's you, Mel. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So it was an experience, but I think that experience was one of the bigger like things that prepared me for my situation now.
So after COVID, whatever normalcy we came back to, whatever normalcy, I still think we're still digging out of that. What was that like for you?
It was like personally, it was hard because now I have 3 kids and one is like a baby. So when I went, Jacob was born in May of 2020. So that was like COVID heavy, right? And we were already locked down because I remember I had him with a mask. Like I pushed him out wearing a mask.
So he's going to be 6.
Yes, he'll be 6 next month.
You know, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought I was supposed to be born different years.
No.
So they're both born in 2020. Oh, so
Yeah,
Musa was born March, right before it happened. He was born right after it happened.
Right after.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember when I had him, it was a week after they said the fathers could be in the delivery room, because prior to that they didn't allow the fathers.
The day of that day, they told me I couldn't be.
Yeah.
The policy wasn't, and I was like,
what?
I don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in that room.
So, but pretty much after that,
yeah, it was cut off. Yeah. Oh. So I was like, all right, well, you know, this is the 3rd one, so if you don't want to be in there, it's okay. And literally like a week after, that's when he was born. So dealing, and then I remember he was in daycare at 3 months because I had to go back to work because Suleika too was pregnant. So someone had to be.
And Suleika was my assistant principal who became principal.
Yes. So she was my principal and I was her AP. And because our kids are 6 months apart. So I had to we put Jacob in daycare. We just having kids because Musa was March, Jacob was May, Jonathan's November of 2020.
You know, my brain is going like, wait a minute, how do I not know this? Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my first 2 years as an AP was all of this: COVID, hybrid, child, and then acting principal. So when Suleika was on maternity leave, once again, I thought my superintendent was going to send someone, and she was like, "No, and I was the acting principal in that time. That was like my first experience as a principal. And then it was that was 2021. So I was at MSTA until 2023.
How did that happen? What was that like?
I got a call.
That call.
I got a call, and this wasn't the first call, right? But you know, you have to make that type of change, it has to be right, you know? And I was like, no. That was my initial response, was no. And everyone's like, why would you say no? And I'm like, because I'm thinking about everything, right? It's 2023. I have a 3-year-old and I have 2 other kids, and we just were coming out of like COVID, and it's like I only just had a normal AP year, right? Because my first year, COVID, second year, hybrid COVID baby. So I had just had, my 3rd year was my only normal year. Like everyone's back and it's just a regular year. And then this year you're like, leave here and go somewhere new. And I was just like, I knew I wanted to be a principal. I didn't know when, but I didn't think it was then, right? So I was like, And I said, and then one of my really good friends called me, and she was like, I think you should take it. And I said, because at first I'd already said no. So I was like, you know how you're like, all right, I already said no.
And I got to call him back.
Then I'm like, you really? And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I said, I'm going to pray on it. I'm going to talk to my husband and my family. Like my family are really, like me, my siblings and my parents are very, very close. And I'm like, I'm going to talk to them, just them. And then if I feel that feeling where it's like, do it, then I'll get back to you. So I like prayed on it, and I spoke to my husband. My husband's very supportive. He was like, babe, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's yours. So it's not really helpful. But he's supportive, so we'll take it, right? my parents were like, a principal? Yes. And I'm like,
call everybody.
And I'm like, guys, chill. I'm trying to make a decision. My siblings were like, you got this, girl. Do it. And so I was like, I'm just gonna wait for like a sign. Like, I don't want to make the wrong decision because I didn't know anything about the school. I didn't know and then I'm leaving a place that I've been for over a decade. Like, I'm like rooted here. And it's so funny. I was like thinking about it, and like my spirit was like, because I'm just thinking about like all the things, all the factors, and my spirit was like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I was like, I'll be fine. Are you sure? And it's like, you'll be fine. And I was like, okay. And so I called my superintendent back, and I was like, I'll take it. And that was it. That was it.
So, what was the transition like?
Oh, it was tough because it wasn't a normal transition. I started in October.
So you already started.
So I had already started at MSTA. Everything was going as normal because these things take time. Your background check, all those things have to like go through, and we were having I had planned with NYPD a cookout, and it was on I think it was like a Thursday or Friday, and in the middle of the cookout I get the call, and she says, you start on Monday. And I cried.
Why did you cry?
Oh, because I'm like, come on, no one, I don't think anyone would choose to start that way because it's harder, right? If it's the summer, you have the whole summer to say your goodbyes.
I hear what you're saying.
And all that. Like we're doing a cookout right now.
Yep. So this was a Friday? So you had hours, literally.
Correct.
Because the weekend doesn't count.
Correct.
So you had hours until...
And the day was already over. No, so it was a Thursday. It was a Thursday.
Okay.
So it was after school. The cookout was after school.
So you had
So
24
I only
hours
had Friday.
Friday to talk to people.
Yeah.
And the shock. What was that like?
It was really tough. It was really tough. I mean, kids were crying. Parents were upset. Staff were shocked. There was a lot of shock because things were just happening as is, like a regular school week. And Suleika sent an email because we were like, what's the best way? Because it's we don't have a lot of time. And I'm not going to be here starting Monday.
Yeah,
so
there's no best way.
There isn't, and so we had an assembly. And so things were happening, and it's like, what am I going to tell my children? And then, you have your own specific children, and I'm like, who's going to watch them? It's because it's middle school. So there's kids that would come to school just because I'm like, you better be in this schoolhouse at 8:00. So don't play with me, right?
There's some kids who come to school just to see that particular person, their person.
Yes.
And you had a lot of
And I had a lot of, yes. And I had a lot of kids, and I still have them till today, and that's all I could think about was what are they're going to say, forget it. I don't even want to come to school anymore. It was really, really, really sad. I cried a lot, because it's the kids were crying. The parents were like, what, why? The year just started. I was going to move, but I wanted to finish. My 8th graders were like, oh, that was the tough one was the 8th graders because a lot of them because there's a lot of movement, in that part of the Bronx, we have a heavy, a temporary housing situation. Yeah. Families are in shelters. So sometimes they would just make decisions because it's I want to stay at this school. So it's parents I stayed here because I knew you were here and my kid was good and now you're leaving them. Ugh. It was my heart was destroyed, and then the kids would tell me at lunch, it was my last day and I'm at lunch. And they're like, so we're not going to see you on Monday? Is that for real? And I'm like, oh, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. And going where I was going was tough because it's I'm coming in October. So it's they're like, who's this chick?
To elaborate on that,
Oh.
that, I've done that 3 times already.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, walking into a space?
It was, a lot of people didn't say anything, so I was like, okay, right? And when you're in a new space, you're not your regular self. You're more reserved. So I was quieter and just more observant. So I'm interested to hear how they felt. Like, did they think I was like a quiet person? I mean, I am quiet.
You are in your own way, but when triggered,
It's a wrap.
it's a
wrap. But like then I was very like observant.
Yeah.
So I was very quiet. I was, I just wanted to see, and it's like every principal I knew, their main advice was like, don't change anything, right? Just like go in, see how it looks, continue what's happening already, and then start to make the changes your second year, which is actually really hard to do. Because if there's things that's just glaring, it's like, I'm going to stay here for the rest of the year.
You have to address those things.
Yeah. So it was, my school community, shout out to PS 57. The Crescent School, home of the Rockets. Okay. They were, how it is in a new space. You have the people that are like, oh, thank God you're here. Like you have those people. Then you have the people who are like, hello, good morning, right? And then you have the people who are like, we'll see.
It's another set.
So I had all
Grievance.
three.
She said good morning to me. Grievance.
So I had all 3, right? And I think that now that this is like my 3rd year, I think I'm grateful for like the way I came into it, right? I was very like cool. And because my thing was, this was my first time in a space where I knew no one. 0. So I come from a place where I know everyone in every section of the building to a place where I know no one, right? So it was very hard because you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to say what to. That's not gonna, and it was, so I had to choose my team and pray that they were good and loyal, because it could go the opposite way, because I didn't know anyone, and I just was like, I'm just gonna focus on the children. That's what I'm here for, right? So I'm gonna focus on the students, what they need, focus on the families, because I think that, like everyone has like their thing. I think that my thing is always like bringing people together. I love to throw a good party. I love to have people over. I love so for me, like professionally, it's like community building. Like how can we just make this? And I felt like it wasn't a family, like what I had there. So that was like my goal, is like everyone's in their little like corner. How can we all come together?
Did you do it?
I'm doing it.
Yeah. So how? And I think this is a very crucial space because of this conversation, which I'm surprised we're at almost 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it's a long time.
But there's so many gems in here. So we're principals.
Yes.
You're a principal. You're a vet now.
Am I?
How long has it been?
This is year 3.
Yeah, no, you're
not a vet.
Listen, and you started the work much earlier.
Yes.
In many ways. So, and I know there are those who are in year 1 in the seat. Those who were in year 3, but they didn't have the background knowledge and the experience to do what you're doing. Coming into those spaces, this is something that every new principal walking into a school walks into. Mm-hmm. That first day. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not talking about, and even those who become principals in their buildings.
Yeah.
The day you walk in and you have that mantle, or you have that cape, or that you have that P on your chest, guess what? Friends?
Yeah.
No, not everybody looking at you like, okay,
mm-hmm.
like they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And you have to make those changes and make those shifts. So you did a very good job describing what you're walking into. What did you do? What are the things you can say? "Wait, I know I did that right. If I could go back, maybe I wouldn't have done that." And what advice do you have for people in this who are new to the seat, about to enter the seat, or still developing in the seat?
Yeah. I mean, I think that something I did well, I was very consistent, right? And that goes back to like my upbringing. Your yes has to be a yes, and your no has to
The
be your
Bible
no.
says, "Let your yes be yes, and let your no be no."
Right? So I was like, if I'm gonna, and I was very consistent. I pick my battles, right? If it's a battle I know I cannot win outright, you got it. I'll catch you on the next one, right? So that's a big one, because then now you're arguing, you're going back and forth. No, facts only. So if the facts are there and you're wrong, let's go. But if there's a little gray, even if it's just a hair gray, lucky day. It's your lucky day. You got it. I'll catch you on the next one.
Why are we like this?
Because it's a night I cannot lose. I refuse to lose. So if there's an opportunity for you to get me, you can have it. But sleep with one eye open, because I'm coming, right? So, or you repent.
I'm not like that
and
at
do
all.
better.
No.
Yes, he is. So those were like the keys for me to be consistent.
Consistency is important.
Right? Pick your battles, right? And just like live in your truth. Like, I know who I am. So if I don't know something, I don't know. Do you know it? Tell me. Right? Because it's like, just because I'm the principal doesn't mean I know everything.
We learn together.
Exactly. So if you know it, can you please show me? Or I cannot do it, but here's this person who's going to do it, and we're going to learn together. So you can't be too proud, right? Pride comes before a fall. So you can't be too proud. So I think that those are things that I did really well. And you can see it, like, it's funny because people at work now, they said they can find me in the building from my laugh. They're like, oh, there she is, and then they find me, right? So it's like, for me, I also was like, I'm gonna find joy in this work, because it's hard. This is one of the hardest things. I think breastfeeding is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. Shout out to the mothers. But after that, it's this, because you're dealing with everybody. You're dealing with adults. You're dealing with children. You're dealing with custodians. You're dealing with school safety. You're dealing with parents. You're dealing with politicians. You're dealing with everybody.
The district, the central,
Yes.
the emails,
all
don't
the
stop.
requirements, right? You have to do this by end of the day, but you send it to me at 12:45. And end of the day is at 2, like all of those things, right? So it's like, how can I find joy in this work? So I refuse to be like stressed. And it's a stressful job. So I'm going to fight the stress every day and choose to laugh and be happy. So rebranding is something I think I did well with the school. Like and you know about this, right?
No, I was there.
Right,
Yeah, you did incredible
because
work
I
on that.
was like, we don't even have a mascot. We don't, like, what are we? And so bringing the community in, like, we did surveys. What are we going to be called? What is going to be our mascot? Because I'm like, we're going to have teams, and we need to, like, be something. Just because the official name is, like, PS57 Crescent, right? So it's like, okay, what's a crescent? A crescent moon? Okay, space. Okay, science. Okay, let's go there.
What's the mascot again?
The Rockets,
Where you
baby.
from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas. Go Cowboys.
But hey, listen, at least you didn't pick the Mavericks.
Don't talk about my team. Don't talk about my team, right?
Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Shout out to the greatest, right? So it's like those things. So then that also like brought the community in, because they're like, oh, she's asking what we think, and so like that has gone really well, and then just like making it more of a family, right? Like I have a core team and I call them my get it done team. And it doesn't matter what it is, how big it is, how small it is. As soon as I say it, people are moving, and that is something that every principal must have, because it's too much. it's too much, because then it's like, how can I be in classrooms? How can I write these observations? How can I respond to central? How can I respond to my superintendent? How can I respond to the district? It's too much. So then when do I get to do these other things? I can't. So I have to have a core team where it's like, we're going to have a math night, and it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. And everyone's like, got it, gone. And then we meet, and it's like, okay, we're going to do this, because then in the beginning, it was me, because you have to teach people your vision, right? And then they carry it out. It's not just like okay, let's just come up with stuff. No. And because of like the way I came up, if it's not right, I'm not doing it. If it's not clean, I'm not doing it. If it's not structured, I'm not doing it. Because if it has my name on it, it's not going to be tacky. And if it's tacky, throw it away.
That's true. It's true.
Throw it away. We'll start over, right? And people say that about me all the time. It's funny now because they're like, oh, she's so... I hear them, right? They're like, she's not going to like that. Take that off. Like, she's not going to like that. And I'm like, good. Because it's all or nothing. I'm an all or nothing girl. So you give me all of it or give me none of it. I don't want anything in the middle. No.
I remember, I think Nate told me a story where he was doing something for me, and you walked in like, nope, don't do that. So Nate was my parent coordinator.
Yeah, shout out to thee, Nathaniel Medina.
He said, yeah, Amana said that.
No,
she was right. No. She was right.
All the time. I would just walk, I'd look, I'd be like, For you, for Suleika, now for me, it's like, no, don't even bother. That's a no, strong, no. So it's got to be the best. Like, why would you want to be anything else?
But now you're making them the best because they're taking that same trait and making it their own.
Right.
You know, so they hold themselves accountable and hold other people accountable to them.
Yes.
And teachers are not holding kids accountable to. It's that trickle down effect.
Yes, absolutely. But you have to know who you are to do that. Because if you're faking it, then, you know, it's like when you date somebody, it's like if you date somebody you don't like sports, but you like they like sports. You pretend like you like sports. You're going to be exposed. You're going to be exposed.
Yeah, no, but it's
so
true.
you have to be your true, authentic self. People have to know, like, what your standards are, what works for you, right? And the only way they'll know is if you show it and you say it. So, like, I read my emails. Even, like, before AI came, I used to read my emails, like, 5 times before I would send it. Maybe it's the ELA teacher in me. Maybe I'm like, nah, you're not going to catch me spelling stuff wrong or my grammar. I know.
I used to do the same thing. And that one time I sent it, like,
oh my gosh, can I bring it back?
They send that photo.
And then, because you know, apologies. Everybody's like, oh, look, she made a mistake, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm human, leave me alone.
No, you're not human. You're Igbo. You're an Igbo woman.
Oh, man.
So, okay.
So to answer the last part of your question, what advice I would give to
No, before that one.
Oh.
Did you say what you would do differently?
I wouldn't take certain things personal.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you're the leader of the school, everything is your problem, right? Even things that you have no control over.
Even stuff that you didn't even start.
Correct.
You didn't even do.
It's all falls on your lap. It could be my coach, my AP, my teacher, my custodian. It's my fault.
Oh, do you know the worst one though? The stuff that the person before you did.
Oh.
And you're like, why am I dealing with this?
Because they're not there.
So.
Yeah, so that would be my okay. I wouldn't take things so personal.
Okay. I'm still working on that.
Yeah. And I wouldn't, because of that, I wouldn't respond. I would have responded less because I could be reactive. So.
She said it. No, but that's leadership. Because the thing is, and you said you have so many things on your shoulder.
Yeah.
You don't need the extra thing. So when that thing comes, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But you're right. It's very important to learn to just take a step back and breathe. Ask yourself, okay, now before I say what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you can't take it back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Because it's one thing I learned is, what's it like? I don't have to show that I'm right all the time, even though I know I'm right. You don't have to say it. You don't have to show it. You know, as long as you know. That's all that matters.
And the work will speak for itself.
Because sometimes the truth is hard, and people can't handle the truth. So why do I need to be the one to say it? It's there. Grown folks know.
Okay. And now, what is your word? You have to give them a proverb.
Oh Lord.
With the tortoise meets the crocodile on the road. Igbo people were all, I think
about
parables. The book of Proverbs in the Bible was written by Igbo man. Solomon was Igbo. No, David. David was Igbo.
Man.
But so what is your nuggets of wisdom for people who are going through it right now in the seat?
You know, there's a saying, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I believe that because, but you know, like it goes back to like picking your battles. Like you just gotta know. Like if you know, like your shirt is blue, I know your shirt is blue. I'm fighting everybody who's saying it's green, red, yellow. If I know your shirt is blue, that's it. And if they're like, you can't do it because it's blue, and I know it's blue, I'm gonna do it because I know I'm gonna be successful. And are you going to ding me for being successful? No.
I'm not mad at you
Right.
because I feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
But
now
I'm
you
disarmed.
get to celebrate. Exactly.
I'm disarmed.
Yeah. So it's like, it's all about like, and it's like just stick to the facts. Take emotion out of it. Take feelings out of it. Take ego out of it. Just stick to the facts, right? So even like as a AP, when I used to write people up, I just stick to the facts. And they would be like, you know what, I'm signing. Because it's like, I'm not saying that you're lazy, even if I think it. I'm not saying that, you know, like you're not responsible, even if I may think it. The fact is, you did this, and because you did this, you violated this, and this is what happens. You can't fight the truth. So like that's my biggest thing is like stick to the facts. Period. No feelings. Because we have feelings all day. Women have feelings, men have ego, all that. Get that out of here. What's the fact?
Black and white.
Yep. No gray.
Okay. 2.5 hours.
Oh gosh, so long.
How you can talk? I'm quiet, I'm shy.
It's a long time. Who's gonna watch this for 2.5 hours, Jay?
I don't know.
We need to edit it.
I just watched a podcast. It took me 3 days. It was 4 hours long.
Oh my god.
But it was so good. It's like a show. I had to keep on. I would go back and watch a little bit more.
It's really long.
Yeah, but again, this is a book. You could transcribe this and write a book. But I think this is called a long format podcast, and I've never done long format. But I think it's very important because if one person sits there and watches it, you know, there's something in there they're gonna get.
True.
So
True.
Put it out there and see what happens, and see who else we can get here. Next time you're gonna interview me.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
I'm terrified.
I'm gonna be like a talk show host. I'm gonna have a little card.
Oh, because you've literally done. I've seen you actually do that. What are we talking about? In Puerto Rico, you were like, okay. And I'm sitting there thinking like, being the box of Kleenex, so I almost like crying. Let me tell you what happened. I was 2 years old. No, but this is amazing. Now the only thing I'm thinking about right now is when we stop this, I push play. There better be volume or something in there.
Fear.
But I think, are you ready to stop here? Anything else you want to say?
I'm grateful. Like we've been talking about this for like a year, right? We were in the car. Mm-hmm. And it's just because there's so many layers, you know, like just being a principal is, and it's bigger than I think we think, you know, like to be like the leader of a school, but then there's like all the other things too, you know, like in life.
Yeah, your own life, family, and all the other people. I think it's so sad that I feel like there's really good leaders out there who just walk away. Yeah. Because you're not allowed to be human. Yeah. And that's one thing. I don't care. I'm gonna be, and I was that person who had to be a machine. Mm-hmm. I'm not. Nope. Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, as soon as you leave that seat, somebody else comes in. Yeah. And what you've done, they get credit for it.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, if I want to do this, I'm going to do this the way I want to do it.
Yes.
And I'm going to love every moment of it. So, last question. Are you loving what you're doing?
I am.
Okay.
I am. If you'd asked me this last year or the year before, I'd be like, ah.
No, you would still say you love it. No, this is the thing. I remember, even when you during the pandemic, the few times I spoke to you, I didn't get the sense you were like, oh my God, I hate this.
No.
It was hard.
Yes.
But you still did your thing.
Yes.
And like you said, you know who you are. And you know what you're capable of. So, all right.
Yes.
All right.
We did it.
Yes, we did. So now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. But the goal of this is to really have at least one leader out there who needs to hear a snippet or the whole entire story so they can feel validated in their journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And with that being said, Uche Joku.
Wodobunna.
And until next time, the show is called again, what is it?
Two peas on a pod.
All right, y'all.